probably.
We talk about RuneScape here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes.
No, we
I
don't.
was like, I don't know if that's accurate.
We're gonna go over the poll results, which I think some of them are pretty surprising. We're gonna go over the update, of course. So that's the Skatiza pet and all that stuff. We're gonna talk about the Inferno progress report thing, and like kind of like the sneak peeks and stuff that we got during Q&A. We're gonna talk about the world map devlog and like the poll and stuff like that. Even though we already kind of covered this last week, they made some changes, so we'll talk about like some of the changes and what we think. And like Mod Ash just tweeted some stuff about the world map and that kind of thing. And we're of course going to discuss topics from the Q&A. We've just got a few questions from the Q&A this week, and Rob's going to be taking your guys' questions from the chat. So if you have any questions, do at Vorpal Tongues in the chat. Ask your question. Rob will write it down, and we'll do that at the end. So we're looking to make this podcast maybe like around 2 hours today. We'll see. We always end up around 2.5, but we'll see what we can do. All right, without any further ado, let's kick off RFT podcast number 12. So let's go ahead and just start with the update for the week. That's usually where we start. All right, so this week we got the big thing we got, Skatiza pet.
Yep.
And out of all of us, I think Chase is the only one who really cares, and he also has it. So
Yes, I actually rolled it twice. In 51 totems, I got it twice.
yeah, that's not bad.
Nope.
1 in 65 though. Like,
Yeah,
1 in
that was
65?
actually surprising to me. I think it was surprising to a lot of people, including. Do you guys follow Charles on Twitter? The guy
No,
who
I
has
don't
the
follow
pet
him on
hunting
Twitter,
spreadsheet.
but I know who he is.
Yeah, he sent out a
more than
tweet.
just that spreadsheet.
He sent out a tweet saying, "I'm going to be collecting information about the Skatizo pet and trying to figure out the drop rate if they don't release it." So he had like 60 people say, "Yes, this is how many totems I have. I will let you know how it goes." And then he sent a tweet the night before it released saying, "In before they release the drop rate on day one, for the first time ever, making all this data gathering we're gonna do irrelevant." And that's what they did. And not only did they release the drop rate, they changed it, because people asked Kieran on Twitter, "What's the drop rate going to be, do you think?" Weeks ago, and he said 1 out of 100 is what sounds good to me. So everybody was like, "Yeah, I guess it's pretty reasonable." I mean, if there, of course, not everybody. There were morons on Reddit saying it should be at least 1 out of 1,000, at least.
At least.
But for the most part, that sounded reasonable to everybody, and I was like, "Yeah, 1 out of 100, that's good." If it's less than that, I think I won't be upset. If it's a little bit more than that, I probably wouldn't be upset. But I was surprised
to me,
that
the
they
people
changed
that
it.
said 1 in 1,000, I'm just like, okay. Have you even tried looking at the numbers?
Yeah. No, they just type before they think. That's more than 200 mil Slayer XP worth of totals.
Yes.
On average.
Exactly. That's what I have to say to those people. Anyways, continue, Chase.
So, yeah, I was a bit surprised that they changed the drop rate, because I assumed that they were going to stick to the number they had given on Twitter, just so that nobody was surprised. I was hoping they wouldn't make it more, because then I knew that it would just exponentially increase the amount of time to get it. I was surprised when they made it less, and I'm not really upset about it, but I was genuinely surprised. And I woke up and I checked Twitter like I always do, and I saw like all of my friends that PVM already had it, and I was like, holy shit, I guess it's really easy to get now. And I feel like it does cheapen it a little bit, but it's better than me not getting it in my 52 totems that I saved up.
Here's the thing. People had a week, or actually more than a week.
There was like 2.5, 3 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
To stack up totems. So people had like hundreds of totems.
Yep.
So even if the drop rate was 1 in 100, 1 in 150, there was going to be, at least dozens of people who got it.
Yeah.
Day one. And actually, the JMods discussed as such. They said on the Q&A, they said, we think our mistake we made here was not having it be like a separate sort of drop, like having it roll off just like regular totems, basically. I guess they were like, we should have added something to make it, like, so you can only start getting the pet from this point or whatever. Right. Rather than just everyone's or I guess the fact that they announced it, I think, is what, I don't know. It seemed to be the sentiment was, we think this drop rate is correct just based on the numbers, because it's like an average of like 10 million XP to get the pet. or 10 million Slayer XP.
Yeah.
So they were like, we think these numbers are good. But they just dislike the fact that, like, you know, a lot of the really hardcore players got it day one.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess they think their mistake is either that they announced it so early, or you know, that they allowed you to use regular totems.
That's what I would have changed. I just would have had it so that they didn't tell you when it was coming out at all.
Yeah. I mean,
Or,
some people
like,
would have
just release
suspected it, of course.
Oh, yeah.
But
People like Rig were saving it up from the release of Skatizo anyway.
yeah.
But, yeah, I think that... I mean, I'm glad I got it. Obviously, it's what I care most about. I
Of course.
I ground for totems for like 3 straight weeks. I'm glad I don't have to go back there. But I wouldn't have minded if it had been 1 out of 100. I actually was surprised that they lowered it.
Yeah. Hey, Green Haze, what's going on, man?
What's up, man?
Yeah, overall, I think I think I'm happy with how Skatizo release went, or the pet release, I should say, rather. What do you guys think about the name Skotos?
Yeah, little underwhelming.
Yeah. I look at that name and I'm like, why isn't it just like Skatizo Jr.?
Yeah, I wouldn't have minded that either.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is I used 52 totems and I got 2 pet rolls, which are 1 out of 65, but I only got 1 Dark Claw, which is 1 out of 25. So that's kind of weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's segueing on to the next section. Dark Claws are a thing. You can use them to make a fancy purple Slayer helmet, which matches very well with Mage gear, actually. It looks really swag.
And the RD Max cape.
Yes, it looks really good with that, too.
Or tier 4 Achievement Diary gear, or Corrupted Armor as well.
Or Trim Thieving Cape.
Didn't think of that.
New fashions cape. Wear it with your Rogue's armor.
Oh yeah, because I wear that all the time on my maxed account. That already has Rocky.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the pet's more exciting than the new Slayer helm. Although, like, the new Slayer helm is really cool.
Yeah, but it's also a completionist thing. Like, I would have been pretty upset if I had not gotten it, because then I would have felt compelled to go back.
Then you would have like, well, I'm going to 50 more totems.
Yeah.
I get 3 more pets. That's how your luck goes, man. Is that your first repeat pet you've ever got?
Yeah, I think so.
Rob, you ever got a repeat pet?
I barely get pets as it is.
No, well, I mean, same for me, but
No,
I've gotten a repeat
haven't.
heron, is what I've got. Like one of the worst repeats to get. I got one from my first one I got from Barbarian Fishing, which is ridiculously rare. And the second one I got from fishing sharks. I don't know, I was just doing something AFK while editing video, which sharks are really AFK. So, and it was just like, yo, a funny feeling you would have been followed. I was like, oh, neato. Right, so let's talk about Eternal Slayer Gem. So you can make an unlimited charge Slayer Gem with it. Comes from superior monsters, but it's the same fucking rarity as an imbued heart. I don't know, that blows me away a little bit, because I look at this item and I think to myself, well, Slayer Gems aren't exactly hard to get in the first place. But an unlimited one is this rare?
Yeah, I'm surprised
I
it's
don't
the
know.
same rarity. I don't think that it's the same amount of usefulness as the imbued heart is. Like, I don't think it should be the same tier of an item. Like, and I've done nearly 100 superiors. I've never even hit the unique table once.
Yeah, I haven't hit it either.
And this item's going to be useful.
I'm like 60 something.
I don't know, man. I think they kind of fucked up making it as rare as the imbued heart.
Yeah, I just I can't see it being that rare, but I mean it is. So
How much is the gem going for right now? Do you know?
more than
A
an imbued
lot.
heart. It's going for a lot right now.
Yeah, I was really
I mean,
hoping to have
I think
one,
that's
but-
Purely just down to rarity and the fact that it's a new item. People know how rare an imbued heart is, so there's already like an expected value there, and then it's newer, so there's fewer of them in the game. So yeah,
Right.
it's more expensive than an imbued heart.
There's probably
It
barely any in
is.
the game.
Currently 19 mil.
Wait, what? That can't be right.
It dropped hard.
Oh,
Really?
did it?
And when it started, it was about 66 mil. and it is
Yeah, that's what I
currently
heard. I heard it was really expensive.
19.
I can't believe it's dropped that hard.
Yeah, me either.
There can't
Actually,
be that many in the game right now.
no, I really can't.
As of 2 days ago, there were 111 sold, and that's just
But does
what
that-
everybody has
But
tracked.
that counts repeats.
Well,
though.
I mean,
That's
there's
probably
gotta be
repeat
some people-
sales, trading the
Yeah,
same
there's
part.
probably people flipping
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
It's more than I would have expected, though.
I don't know. That's surprising though. I can't imagine it dropped that much.
Yeah.
It just seems like one of those things like you get it and then you're just like not gonna sell it. You're just gonna hang on to it.
That's what I would do.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, once you use it, the ring itself is untradeable.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
once you use the gem to make the ring, you have it.
Yes.
So there's no reselling it. I don't know. For anyone
Yeah,
that's
that's-
actually gonna use it.
That's what I mean. Like you're just gonna hang on to it once you have it.
Yeah, that is true.
That's why I'm surprised that the prices are that low already. Because I mean, we all know how rare an imbued heart is. I mean, shit's hard to get. I don't know.
Yeah, I can see both sides of it.
Maybe people are just more willing to part with the Eternal Slayer gem. Maybe it's
Probably.
just like one of those things where people, you might get an imbued heart drop and you might hang on to it because hey, I wanted one of those anyways.
The imbued heart
That's
may
what I
have a resale value because it stays tradable, but the fact that it becomes
Yeah.
untradeable means that it's going to remove it from the market, which I would
Yeah.
think would keep it more expensive, not less.
Exactly. That's what I would think. But maybe that's just the fact that there's like so many being resold. Maybe people are
Yeah.
just reselling the same ones and nobody's actually keeping them. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
Maybe no
Yeah,
one
like-
wants to bite the bullet.
I feel like 19 mil's not that bad for it.
No, not at all. I'd pay that.
A lot more reasonable than 50 or 60.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like 50 mil. Oh, it's okay. I'm gonna use my 8 charge.
Yeah, I'll just go and make some more every time that I need to.
I'll just buy 5 mil worth of Slayer gems. Like no big deal. Actually, they were talking about that. That was a Q&A question. Was like, can we have a way that's easier to get a lot of Slayer gems?
Yeah.
And tradable Slayer gems was something that came up,
Yeah.
and there was quite a bit of support for it.
Well, see, the thing is, like, they were talking about packs of Slayer gems, but
Yes.
to do packs, it comes in a banknote, and you can't banknote something that's untradeable.
Untradeable. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a engine
Oh,
limitation.
right.
Yeah.
Huh.
It would be nice to buy 500 freaking Slayer gems like that.
Yeah, that would be very
Be
nice.
nice. Be really nice.
I didn't realize that the Eternal Slayer gem was a different color. It actually looks really cool. In the
Mhm.
Yeah, it
post
looks
here.
pretty swag.
Now I want it.
Looks better than the Sears ring. Actually, this brings up an interesting idea. What do you guys think is the worst item, like inventory model in the game? Mine's probably uncharged string of wealth imbued.
Yep.
Yeah,
that
I
was
think
gonna
I
be
have to
my
agree with
answer.
that.
It
yeah.
looks really,
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, I have that in the bank. It's horrible.
It looks like discolored.
God
A lot of people
Sword
say
Blade.
Godsword Blade.
I guess I'm not
because
familiar with that. with
the
how it looks.
inventory model looks like really cut up.
Hmm.
It looks
It does,
kinda-
yeah.
It looks odd. Thanos chest plate. Yeah, that one looks weird too. There's a lot of inventory models that are like, it only shows like part of the item.
I think a
or
lot
the
of the
item
pets
is, like-
look weird in
Yeah.
the inventory.
They do. Penance Queen pet in the inventory. It looks like a
It looks like a
doesn't
healer, doesn't it? Yeah.
it? Yeah.
That one's
It
like
looks
they
like
didn't
healer
even.
in
They were like, yeah,
inventory.
fuck it. We'll make it look like an entirely different model.
Yeah, there's just some stuff that just doesn't make sense.
No.
Well, the way they derive the models is by it's like it's actually a 3D image. It's not like a 2D like just like PNG file or whatever.
Hmm.
It's a rendered 3D image of whatever it looks like on the ground, but they like crop it a certain way. So I mean, like with pets, you can never like see them on the ground.
Right.
So I guess they just chose an entirely different model for it.
Yeah, that
It's
one's.
bizarre.
I think that's the only one they did that for. It is really weird though, because like I first noticed that when I would look at the wiki page for all the pets, like in a list, and you're looking at the icons beside each one, and you see the Penance Queen one. And it's like that's not the fucking Penance Queen. What is why? That's a healer.
This pet must be lame.
I mean, it is pretty ugly.
I don't know, man. You see somebody with a penance green pet though, it's respect.
Well, yeah,
you know?
yeah. There's respect for it, but like it's still ugly.
Yeah, sure. Also like with a lot of like the Barrows equipment, like the actual size of the equipment looks really large in your inventory comparatively to like a lot of other stuff
You
in
know,
the game.
Finn just linked the Kraken pet in the inventory. I actually never thought about it, but it kind of looks like a really stupid hat.
Yeah, it's like all splayed out.
Yeah.
Looks like the sunlight maggot from Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rob gets that reference.
Mm-hmm.
Chase is like, what's Dark Souls? Is that game RuneScape? All right, let's move on to like the other news stuff. So Catacombs of Karen got slightly reworked, meaning there's more blood velds, which is something everyone wanted.
Yeah.
I don't know, that blood veld section, the mutated blood velds, ridiculous, disgusting. You would like go there and get crashed and all sorts of other bullshit. A lot of bullshit. So I, for one, am glad that they did this. Also, there's some more abyssal demons in one of the hill giant areas, which is nice too, because there's a lot of people at abyssal demons. People come in barrage and like burst abyssal demons and shit. So it's nice to have more of that stuff and less of stuff like hill giants. Who goes there and kills hill giants?
Nobody.
No one.
Yeah,
Literally no one.
no one.
No.
They also made the Dark Beast area a little bit bigger. I
Fucking
guess this
finally.
is because like, yeah, this is because of the superiors, right?
Yes, because superiors were not able to spawn in there, which was totally stupid. And of course, the catacombs were designed before superiors were added, so it was a matter of
Yeah.
the content coming in at different times. But like, yeah, I got Dark Beast a bunch of times when I was hunting for totems, and I was never. You could just never get a superior there, which sucks because superiors in the catacombs guarantee a totem piece, and that was always a nice thing.
Yeah,
That's a good change.
Yeah, it's just it's something you wouldn't really think of, but yeah, no, it needed to change. Obviously, it's just really bad when you when you add content to the game, but it's not accessible in certain locations because the monster's too big. Like, come on. I don't know. That should have been done right away, but
I agree.
it's just one of those corner cases where I'm sure it just never came up in QA testing.
Well, it's one of those things like, how do you realize that that's the case?
Yeah. It
It's like-
it
that's
must
like
have
a
been one of those things
player's-
that players just
Yeah.
realized
Yeah,
after a
exactly.
long period of time.
There's probably no way they could have known that without a lot of playtesting.
Exactly. Like, I just don't think that could have really come up in QA testing, like, realistically.
Yeah.
Unless you... well, I mean, I guess, like, if they had... It just depends on what kind of testing tools they have. Because if they can just be like, okay, spawn superior, right? And they
Yeah, I'm
go
sure
to
they could do that.
every location in the game that has a dark beast and then try and spawn superiors. Yeah, I guess it just depends on what tests they were doing. I don't know. I'm glad it's fixed though, because that's bad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know why it's in other news section. It should just be under bug fixes. In my opinion.
Yeah, it's true.
Mm-hmm. The message when adding ore to the blast furnace is now disabled, or can now be disabled. I guess is a toggle
Toggle escape.
for
Always.
like the 2 people in this game that want to see that message. Okay, have you guys ever got that message? You'd be like, no, actually, I didn't want to add this ore to the blast furnace.
Oh, right, the confirmation. Yeah.
Yeah, the confirmation message.
Yeah, I've never
Ask
done
you,
blast
are you
furnace, and even
sure?
I know about that.
Oh, it's disturbing. It's like, why would you be at blast furnace trying to put ores on the hopper and say no? I just don't get it. I don't get it.
What is Rob smiling about?
Found our fuck, marry, kill.
Oh boy.
At the end.
Oh, good. Now I get to wait 2 hours to find out what he's smiling about.
Yep.
Good.
It's Rob's little secret. Yeah, obviously though a good change. I don't think anyone actually liked that confirmation message. It was just more annoying than anything else. I'm glad that I'm glad that a lot of changes are like little quality of life things are being added like this that just make the game more playable. Because I mean, I guess it sort of makes sense from like a development standpoint to be like, well, maybe they don't want to put the ores on it. But realistically, people don't go to blast furnace unless
No.
they want to smith thousands of bars, you know. So it's more of a nuisance in reality. Good change, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
So we can now store long bones, curve bones, and rune pouches in Raid's private storage. I don't know how often this came up, but apparently enough that it was necessary. I don't know. Has anyone here ever
What?
gotten a long bone or curve bone in a raid?
No.
You assume I do raids.
Yeah, I don't do raids either
Yeah.
right now.
No.
I've only done like 100 raids, and I don't think anyone I've ever raided with has got one. But
That is super fucking old. Jesus Christ.
That's
I mean,
alright.
like, I
you can go to the
guess-
channel.
Yeah.
There's the rest of them are on there.
Do you have all of them up there? Like all the previous ones? Are we caught up?
No, we're not.
Well,
Oh, I just noticed that vodcast command. Holy shit! I didn't even
Yeah.
know I had that.
Shane.
I guess Shane made that,
Yeah.
he
I
makes
think-
a
or
lot
else
of them.
I would have updated it myself.
So this is
but-
not. This is episode 12, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we're
I
on
think.
episode
I
12.
think the only one that's not up so far is 11. I think the rest.
Yeah,
of
I
them
don't
are.
think 11's up yet.
Okay.
So we're close, but yeah, I'm usually like one
Well,
behind.
if we're only a week behind, we're doing all right.
Yeah.
Because people can always watch the past broadcast on Twitch if they want to.
True.
The time it takes
what were
is
we
just
talking about?
the worst.
Yeah, it's so long. Like you guys don't even know rendering like a 3-hour video.
Yeah,
is
it's like an hour and a half of exporting, which isn't that bad because I can still use my computer during that time. But then it's like 3 hours of uploading, during which time I can't
Yes.
stream. I can't like playing
Do
the
that
game is
shit
laggy
before
as
you
fuck.
go to bed.
I do. I upload it before bed.
Yeah, that's what you have to do.
But I have
it's like
to
a
also
2 or
remember to
3 day
export it
process.
for an hour and a half before that each time.
Yeah,
And usually
it's
I'm
like a
just
3-day
busy.
process basically.
It's annoying.
I know the feeling. I used to upload on like a basically like a dial-up connection.
Imagine.
It's bad. It's
Yeah.
bad. Real bad. But yeah, I mean, I guess the change is good. I never wanted to store my rune pouch, but if I did get like a longer curve bone in a raid, I would want to store it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want it weighing down my inventory.
Yeah.
And this one's actually kind of nice if you've ever tried to do 3-tick granite or anything like that without a desert ammy. Various water containers no longer move in the inventory when used in the desert.
So like your
For
water
like
skins
the-
wouldn't be moving themselves around.
Yes, if you've ever tried to do this with water skins, which I have tried to do this with water skins and humidify, and it's really annoying because they move around your inventory. I don't think I would do that anymore because I just have the desert ammy, but I don't know. I guess this is nice for some low-level accounts like Iron Man and things like that. Yeah, it's just a nuisance. Once again, it's just one of those little quality of life things that like it's only a good change, you know. I don't think we're gonna get anyone complaining about this. Devalues my.
Devalues how when I did 3-tick granite, my water shit moved around. Fuck you.
I did my 3-tick granite before the diarrhea unlimited water thing.
I wish that they could make that change for watering cans too. I don't like the fact that the watering can will always move to the top spot in your inventory possible after you've tried like watering a sapling.
Yeah. I don't know. I always just humidify my saplings.
I should do that to be
Because
honest.
you should just do a whole inventory and just humidify.
Yeah, that's right. I'm usually on lunars anyway these days because I keep being sweaty like Rig and then I imbue everywhere I go.
People don't understand, man. Humidify's OP. It's a good spell. I really hate how they devalued Corrend favor. We've talked about this before, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like we were all kind of a mindset like good, because Corrend favor was awful.
Getting favor sucks. They made that more bearable.
I did all my favor before the update came
yeah,
out.
me too.
And I'm still happy because like if I ever do it on any new accounts
Yep.
that I make, I don't have to do favor.
I also don't
Because
have the
favor's just
devalue
something that
mindset.
shouldn't have existed.
I don't give a
think.
shit about the devaluing. It's a good
I
change.
still don't get that mindset. Like,
Nah.
so, you know what? Never mind. I'm not even gonna get into it.
I was gonna say, maybe we should-
We,
We're turning
we've
an
talked
argument
about
here.
it. We've talked about it so many
There's
times.
plenty last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're just not gonna get into it. But I don't know. It's just, you know, either something's fun in the game or it's not fun.
Yeah.
You know, and I think favor fell into the not fun category. Whereas like if favor were quests instead, it would have leaned a little bit more in the fun category.
That'd have been a lot better.
Yeah, I think quest is where it should have been. Anyways, that's the updates for this week because I don't think any of the bug fixes are major. Well, one of these is really funny. Players uncharging tridents and barbarian assault no longer have their runes confiscated. Can you imagine losing all those death runes? Oh my god, I would be mad.
Hang on, why would they be using a trident and barb assault?
They might have just brought it in with them or something like that.
Why?
I don't know. It's still a funny bug.
It is, yeah.
You know, so some poor guy had to lose like a whole bunch of death runes for that to get fixed.
Nigel, did you said you didn't get a chance to watch the RuneScape documentary live, right?
No, I didn't get to watch it live.
They had like an extra hour, half an hour interview before it actually broadcasted on their channel where they were interviewing the Gower brothers live. Mm-hmm. And they asked them, what was your favorite bug of all time from your years of developing the game? And my favorite one that stood out to me that I remember them talking about that day was, for a long time, or not for a long time, but for a little while in RS2, there was a bug where your loots at KQ would disappear instead of falling to the ground when you killed KQ down in her lair. So people would kill KQ and they would get nothing. And the loots were appearing in the Brimhaven Agility Dungeon. So you wouldn't get your fucking drop at KQ, but people who were doing the Agility Dungeon would just get like valuable items appearing around them for no reason.
Like, oh, a Dragon Chain Body, sweet. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I think some of my favorite bugs, not RuneScape related, just like I think game bugs in general are hilarious and awesome. One of my favorite bugs is in the Dark Souls series. Like Dark Souls has some like pretty funny bugs, but in Dark Souls 2, you could like parry and then roll at the same time or something like that, and it would allow you to just ignore gravity and like collision entirely. You just like you could just start flying basically. It just completely ruined the game. And it was discovered by accident. And it turns out it always works. It's very funny to watch the speed runs because like at that point in time the speed runs went from like people were doing like 100% runs in like like 2 hours, hour and a half or whatever. All of a sudden like the best run times were like, oh yeah, it's like 15 minutes, It was ridiculous. It just totally broke the game. And it's very funny to watch. All right, back to RuneScape.
Yep.
Anything else we want to weigh in on this week's update?
I don't think so.
Nothing really happened.
Nah, not really.
Yeah, other than like Skrindo.
Skrindo happened.
Just some quality of life stuff. We're all just waiting for their Inferno, let's be real.
Yeah.
We're all just like June 1st, come on.
It's gonna be
someday.
Sweet.
One day.
Day one.
Okay, let's go over the poll results. Actually, the poll's still running. It's not done yet, but we have a pretty good idea of like
we basically know what's passing and
we
what's
pretty
not.
much know. About the time where like 20,000 votes are in, you kind of know how the poll's gonna go.
Yeah.
This week's update, I started vaping.
We can't be
Good
friends
stuff, man.
anymore. I'm sorry. Those are the rules.
Fun story. Like half my coworkers vape.
Fun story.
Yeah.
Quit.
Yeah. It's like, all right, I'm putting in my 2 weeks. I'm sorry, I can't handle.
No, I'm like you're giving no notice. Fuck you guys.
A surprising amount of my coworkers are also ex-convicts.
Anyway,
Next time you work, you stay at a hotel, just remember the people that are at your front desk probably have a felony. Just remember that. Anyways, let's go over the poll results. Right. So this week we've got a bunch of questions, like 20 something questions this week. So let's start with world map.
Yes.
I thought it would be hilarious if people voted no, but turns out over 95% of the RuneScape community thinks it's a pretty good idea that we get a world map.
I voted no.
I voted no.
I voted yes.
Why, Chase?
Because why not?
I'm just kidding. I voted yes. But I thought it would be funny if it didn't pass. Would have just been very ironic. I don't understand why, like, I guess because the world map doesn't make the game any quote unquote easier to some people. I can't fathom looking at questions like this. Why something this is one of those poll questions you look at it, you're like, yeah, this is obvious. We want this. This is a across the board improvement to the game. You look at something like this, but then you look at like customizable spell books, which would solve the big problem of like, oh well, it would move vengeance, or oh well, it would move high alchemy, or whatever. It solves that problem for the rest of time, so Jagex can develop whatever content they want to develop, and not have to worry about players voting a certain way because it'll devalues my favorite spell or whatever, right? But that doesn't pass on a power level, standpoint. People are like, oh well, it would make stun alching or whatever too easy.
That already is stupid.
I don't know. I don't see why these two questions aren't on the same.
Clicking is easy, dude. Makes stun alching easy. You're just clicking the same amount of times either way. Like, this game is not a hard game. It's a time investment game.
I don't understand the logic of like things that are just across the board, like an improvement to the game.
Yeah.
Like the actual client. Anything that gives you more options, like why don't we just say yes to? Like there are already third-party clients where you can like change your prayers. Spells, I don't think any third-party client has spells yet, but prayers. That's already a thing. But apparently it's too good for the regular client. So actually, here's a fun question. If something that's in a third-party client is voted on by the community and the community says no, that shouldn't be allowed in the game, should that third-party client developer have to remove that feature from their third-party client or face some sort of, like, go get fucked from Jagex?
I wouldn't say like just a flat yes they should, but like I think maybe depending on what it is, I wouldn't like blame Jagex for enforcing something like that.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what they did with farming, right? It was like they told the third-party client developers that, like, hey, you guys need to remove this feature. Oh, because you used to be able to keep track of all your farming patches.
They
all
broke
the time,
it on their end.
no matter what. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, first, before they did that, they asked the third-party clients to remove that feature, and they said no. So what Jagex said was okay, and then they just broke it on their end. They entirely changed the farming code, and like it totally obscured that data, so that you couldn't read it. But they did politely ask OS Buddy, could you please remove that feature? And then OS Buddy just said no. Yeah. So I don't know. There's some tension between the main client and the third-party clients. Obviously, a ridiculous amount of people play on third-party clients. We all play on third-party clients.
Yep.
So we're not saying like, oh, you're bad if you play on third-party clients, but there's kind of like this disconnect between like what Jagex gets to put in their game and then what third-party clients get to do, which totally pushes the line. Sometimes in a good way, sometimes in a bad way. But I don't know. I feel like the official client and what the players vote on, people should like keep in mind that like third-party clients can already do a lot of this stuff. Why don't we just bring the main client up to speed? Why don't we make the main client better?
Yeah.
And players vote no for those things.
I think if third-party clients want to introduce new features and push new ideas into the game, they should have the freedom to do that. However, if they take that idea in an official capacity and pull it for the actual player base to vote on and it fails, they should be held to the same standard and it should be removed.
Yes, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I do like that third-party clients, they're not Jagex, so they get to innovate. They get to do all sorts of crazy stuff like OpenGL and stuff like that, right? But I feel like I totally agree in the sense that like if something a third-party client has is pulled and fails, that should be the line. There's a line that's been drawn by the players.
It's the same way as official content coming into the game, like actual game content. If it fails, you're not getting it. If it fails, that means the majority of the player base thinks that it shouldn't be part of the client. So then I think it would be totally fair of Jagex to say, well, okay, if players don't think the official client is allowed to have it, then you guys shouldn't be allowed to have it either. I do think that's totally fair.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I think there's like this line between like if they've pulled it and it's failed, and like because somebody brings up a good point in the chat. A pop aside says like Clue Helper. They're never gonna pull that, right? Like we're never gonna see that in the main client ever. But should like that feature just be entirely removed from third-party clients? I don't think so, right?
No.
But there's like certain things like price swapping, right? That's in Rune Loader, but the player base said no. We think that's too good for the game. Like in that case, I think there is a line to be drawn.
I think the line comes from basically what the feature means for the player, because the puzzle box, not the puzzle box specifically, but the Clue Helper in general is okay to leave in, because the difference it makes is that the player either gets the help that they need from the client to solve the clues,
it's a personal thing, right?
Or you go
like,
on the wiki and look it up. Like the player is not going to be solving it themselves, like sitting there trying to figure it the fuck out, because the answer is already online. So either you're getting it from your client or you're getting it from Google. So that doesn't change much. But then something like the left click option on bones changing, that's a fundamental change to the way the game works. I think that is where you need to draw the line.
That's where I start to draw the line. Yeah, is when we're like changing game features.
That I don't think is okay.
Like somebody brings up Conduit blocks certain combat styles. I think that's too far. Like OS Buddy has a feature that left click bones on altars.
Yeah,
I think that's too far.
If you're not confident in your ability to not accidentally switch to defense, maybe you shouldn't be playing up here. I don't think your client should protect you against that for you.
So Papa Side also brings up like the puzzle box solver that just tells you how to solve the sliding puzzles.
I think that's too far as well. I think that people love it because they like to be lazy, but
yes, it's not like the sliding puzzles are hard, but you know, like you said, lazy. Yeah, this somehow turned into a discussion about third-party clients, but yeah.
Oops.
Good to see that we all kind of like have the same consensus here, which is like, if it starts changing how the game fundamentally works, then it's probably too far. I think that's a good line, I think. But I don't ever think we're gonna see third-party clients abide by that. So who cares, right?
No, they won't.
No, there's too much money to be had in it. So they gonna do what they gonna do, and Jagex is gonna do what Jagex is gonna do. Yeah. All right, let's talk about question 2. Should skill capes provide their perks when mounted in POHs? Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, sure. Fortunately, the player base also agrees, because we're getting that. Currently, the achievement diary provides a total of 5 teleports per day. We love those daily teleports. Should this be increased to 10 per day? I thought that it was going to end up being 5 per master, like per diary master. I thought it was what it was going to end up being, but I guess it was maybe changed at some point, or they decided on something different. But yeah, sure, whatever. Does anyone actually use the achievement cape teleports?
No. Actually, I had an opportunity.
Maybe for KQ or like Half-Life tasks. Now,
I had an opportunity today where I actually should have used it, and my chat pointed it out, and I didn't. I never would have thought of it. I've literally never used the teleports on that cape.
There's a couple of clue stuff it's useful for.
I was going to finish off my Calphite's task at the soldiers with the new Caridian like hive.
Yeah.
And they were like, you could have teleported to the master at the Shantae Pass, and I was like, oh yeah, I could.
Yeah, you can just go straight to Shantae Pass.
Yeah, I never would have thought of that personally.
Yeah, it's got a few uses, and also somebody sort of didn't point it out. Brimhaven for clues. You go right to Brimhaven. Yeah, it's got a couple corner cases, but I've never run out of teleports on that thing. Let's put it that way. Even at 5, never run out. Right,
5
so
per master, right? Or is it 5 total?
No, it's just 5 in general.
Yeah, I've never even used 1, let alone 5, but yeah.
Yeah, I've used like 1, maybe.
It's another one of those things like why not feature.
I mean, like you look at the teleports, you look at the list of teleports, and you're like, whoa, there's so many places, and then you think like, no, that's next to a teleport. Okay, that's next to a teleport. Well, no, that one's closer. It's just there's so many redundant teleports. I guess it's a nice way to get to some places like Canifis if you don't just go to your POH and then use the Carol portal. But I don't know. I think there's just a lot more convenient ways to get to a lot of the locations that are on there.
Yeah,
that's just how it is. All right. Question 4. Herbler skill cape. Equip should it be possible to create unfinished potions using Grammy, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it passed.
Yeah.
So, cool. It was close, though. It was very close.
Was it?
Yeah, it's 75 or 76%, 16% no, and then the 7% abstaining. So, actually, maybe this didn't pass. Let me actually go to the poll booth real quick. Because what it shows on the website is totally different from what's in game. Because for some reason, they haven't worked out the math properly for the people who abstain. So, yeah. Sometimes it's not totally accurate. No, yeah, it's like way more yes in game. Because of the 3,000 people that abstained. So yeah, it's like 82% in game. The website and I hate that. The website
Yeah, I don't
and
like
in-game
they don't agree.
numbers are very inaccurate.
Yeah.
Because everyone who abstains, it's supposed to be everyone that abstains isn't calculated out of the 100% total, but on the website they take a percentage of the total when they abstain, which makes 0 sense because they didn't vote. So why would they count towards? Anyways, yeah. Question 5. When equipped, the prayer skill cape provides Holy Wrench effect. Should also do it when it's in your inventory. Also, you get on the max cape. Players wanted this for a long time. You're welcome, max players.
Thanks.
I voted yes, so you can have your one extra, prayer point.
Thank you, Nigel.
You're welcome.
I will write you into my will.
You're gonna give me back all those prayer points.
I was gonna bequeath you all my bits, but I actually already did that today. Never mind. I have no bits.
30 bits feels good, man.
Hey, 35.
He's like, you forgot the 5 bits, man.
You forgot the nickel.
I watched like 2 ads, dude.
Yeah, I actually got 2 lucky 10-bit ads back to back earlier. Making it rain
I only got 5-bit
on my
ads.
Oklahoma. I usually only get 5. I got lucky that time. I
How
don't know why.
How many ads for Alien have you watched?
Like 4, maybe 5.
That's the only ad I ever get
Really?
when I watch your stream. Yeah, I only get ads for Alien. So like anytime I watch your stream, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna farm bits for Chase because Chase is my homie. I'm gonna donate him like 20 cents of my time.
Oh hell yeah, dude. 4 nickels, bitch.
They get rain pennies. Oh, just dropping nickels on him. Yeah, that's the only ad I ever get as Alien. I can't wait for that movie to like flop so I can stop seeing ads for that. What ads are they going to show me next? I swear it's the only ad I ever get.
Really? Mine is always there's always a variety for me. If I watch like 3 or 4 ads in a row for bits, they're all different every time.
I only get one ad at a time. It'll be like, "Do you want to watch Alien?" Okay, and then it's like, "All right, you're done with ads."
Mine's always Alien, followed by the one about it's either Geico or the one about trash bags, like Glad or Hefty or whatever the fuck. And then there's one about some kind of. There's also a new car ad. There's like a car ad, but it's got Harry Potter music in it, and the announcer is British. So I don't know what's going on there. Look, regional serving of ads is kind of wonky, but
Yeah,
those are the
that's
4 I get.
Bizarre. I don't know. Maybe it's because I have like a bunch of extensions and stuff in Chrome that keep like I have Ghostery, which prevents a bunch of cookies and like tracking cookies and stuff like that. So it prevents advertisers from knowing what the fuck you're doing online. Then I use like no script and things like that, so scripts don't run in the background. And yeah, so maybe that's why I keep getting the same ad, is because I'm like, hey, don't give me ads or know who I am.
Yeah.
So it just gives me like the one ad. I'm surprised I get to watch ads actually with all that stuff on.
True.
Do you when you go to watch ads, do you like watch multiple ads in a row?
For bit farming?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always watch as many as it'll let me before it cuts me off.
For me, it only ever gives me one, and then it's like, all right, it's time for you to chill out for like 5 minutes.
It's probably because of your extensions. I usually get through 3
it's
or
probably
4.
all that.
I don't think I've ever had more than 4 though.
Rob, do you ever watch any ads for bit farming? No. It's okay. I feel you on that one. The only 2 places on the internet I watch ads, by the way, YouTube and Twitch, purely because I'm on those platforms. I've been on those platforms. I understand that, like, this is how people make money there. So that's why I have ads enabled there.
I only have it enabled on Twitch, not even on YouTube.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, those are the only two places I will watch ads on the entire internet. I'm sorry, if I ever go to the RuneScape page and I get an ad, I'm gonna flip out.
Watching YouTube videos on my phone makes me want to cry because there's always
Oh my
ads.
god, it's so bad. Have you seen the YouTube app? Like the actual YouTube app?
I use it.
On my phone, when I go to open the YouTube app, let me see if I can show you guys. I gotta turn the brightness way down on my screen. Right, when I try to open the YouTube, I think I may have removed it actually, because it's pissing me off. No, I still got it. I get this thing where it's like, hey, you want to update to the newest version of YouTube? Oh, by the way, you gotta wait 30 seconds if you want to open the app.
What?
Unless you update.
What?
Yeah, look at that. It's like a timer where I can't open the app unless I update. And the new version of the app has all these permissions. It's like, hey, what if we took all your contact details and we could see your text messages and, you know, like your emails and I'm like, how about no? Like, how about you go fuck yourself, YouTube?
That damn Google.
Turns out it actually just works better and you get less ads if you watch it through your browser. Like if you watch it through, I use Firefox on my phone. If I just watch it through there, it works faster and I get less ads. Why the fuck am I going to use your app?
Yeah, I've actually never liked the
don't know,
YouTube
man.
app. It's always been kind of glitchy. Like every so often, it'll just stop connecting to the internet, and even though my phone works, like I can use YouTube, watch a couple videos, come back an hour later, and it'll just say no connection over and over, and it won't let any ads until I restart the app.
I don't understand what the hell. Like in general, I don't understand what the hell's going on with YouTube, like as a website and as a platform. I look at Twitch and I think to myself, if they improved their VOD service at all on Twitch and they made like VODs at all viable in the form that like YouTube has, and they find a way to monetize it better than YouTube has, which I guarantee you Twitch can do because they've monetized their website very well so far. Kudos, Amazon. You guys know what you're doing. Then I think 10 years from now, YouTube will not be a thing.
YouTube is destroying itself from the inside.
Now. The website is terrible at this point. Like even content creators don't want to be there because YouTube can't find a way to keep the money. Like, I don't think YouTube's been profitable ever in terms of like on paper. I don't think YouTube's ever actually made money. I don't understand what the hell is wrong with YouTube, but there's something very wrong with that website and that whole platform. I don't know, man. If there wasn't so much cool shit to watch on YouTube, I don't think people would care.
No.
Yeah. Anyways,
RuneScape.
Back to RuneScape. Yeah. So agility skill cape gets a daily perk where you can have 100% run energy and a stand boost for 1 minute.
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
We like daily effects that you're almost never gonna use.
Yeah.
Right. Oh man. Okay, what do you guys think about this one? The Hunter Skill Cape perk to have unlimited teleports for Black and Red Chinchapa hunting areas instead of 5 per day. People voted no. It's like 30% no. That's 10,000 no votes.
Why do you think that is?
I think purely because of griefing in PvP. I think people would just rag you.
Yeah,
in the Black Chin hunting area. And I actually kind of agree with that. Because like on one hand, for people who would use this legitimately, this is fine. But there does exist a section of the players that
are assholes.
That would that are dicks and that would just abuse the fuck out of this.
Yeah.
Plus people would bring up the point of like, tell you their spec, run 2 levels of wilderness to the south, teleport to your house, restore spec, repeat. So you could like freeze someone, declaw spec, run south, teleport back, declaw spec.
Yeah, you know if this passed, Mod Mech would be banning some people.
Yeah, I feel like people would just use it to grief is what they would do. And for me, anything that allows people to grief other players shouldn't exist in the game.
Yeah.
They should find a better way to do it. Like, for instance, with the Blast Furnace shop and, like, Karamja shop and stuff like that, I think they need to think a better way to implement these things into the game. Like, with the Blast Furnace shop, they said, okay, well, we'll just make it lose stock. Simple. Karamja shop, I don't know what the hell they can do with the Karamja shop, but...
Ban Omnia.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Oh,
clans,
that's-
actually, I've decided that when applications get opened up again, I'm gonna probably try to join Skilling Sanctuary.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Do you need a sanctuary for all the skilling you do?
I need a safe space. Everybody's so triggered all the time.
I remember actually when SKSC used to be it used to be the butt of a bunch of jokes in the skilling community.
Yeah, I
And
remember that
then-
too.
And then I think everyone just like realized like all the like super efficient skillers are actually just mostly like dicks.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it became less cool to be in those clans.
I know a handful of people in the clan, and Rob's told me that they, the people that you get to talk to in the clan chat are very nice, very helpful people.
Yeah, no, like
drama.
I know a lot of the people too, and
Yeah.
like they're really cool guys. And I don't know why they ever got that reputation. Maybe it was a different crew of people back then,
And I saw the
or maybe
different
people were just
requirements
on the
for
Hexus
ranks.
train still.
I also looked at the ranks, which shouldn't matter as much, but I could instantly get
Yeah.
3 bananas, and then if I hit 500 mil XP before they open up applications, I could get instant bronze star, which is pretty cool.
Feels good, man.
King of the
Ranks and
nerds.
CCs.
I don't know. I've been kind of looking for a better place to spend my time in game than the KOACC. If you know what I'm saying.
How many questions do you have to field daily about like low level Slayer?
It's not even just Slayer. It's literally anything that could be looked up on the wiki in less time than it would take me to respond.
Yeah, actually, it surprises me that this has to be a rule in clan chats, and it's and a lot of clan chats they operate on a system of like clan chats with like ranks and stuff like that and actual requirements to get in. They operate on okay, if you ask a really fucking stupid question, like we're just gonna give you a mark, and if you get 3 of these marks, we're kicking you.
Yep.
Like period.
I like that.
Yeah,
like that
a lot of
rule.
clan chats take that super seriously.
Ours is just like
Um,
free. Yeah, it's like open season for stupid questions.
Yeah, it's
Nothing
an
happens.
open CC, so I mean,
Yeah, it's social CC.
it's a social
I think
CC.
that
Yeah.
I don't always mind the questions themselves. What I mind is that the people who are always asking these questions are immune to good advice. You can tell them to look up stuff. Bookmark the wiki is like the most common
I
thing
know
I've
what you
said to
mean.
people.
I know what you mean.
I've told so many people just fucking bookmark the wiki. It's your best friend. They never do it. They will always just type in chat and
No.
ask you to give them the answers instead. I hate it.
I don't know, man. Maybe they have dial-up. Maybe it's really hard for them. Maybe it's
It's
just too much bandwidth.
So
Maybe
many
they're close to
times.
the bandwidth cap.
It's like here's your answer, but next time just check the wiki and they're just like, nah, too lazy, and just like I want to kill myself.
All right, what do you guys think the KOACC would be significantly improved if we just started kicking people for asking too many stupid questions?
Yes.
I don't think there'd be a CC left. We'd lose like everyone.
Where's the lie, dude? You're pretty much right. We'd have very few people left in it. But also, yes, I think it would be better.
I don't know. Mostly, like, the most fun I have in the KOACC is when everyone's just trolling and dicking around and having a fun time. That's what I really like about the KOACC.
People like to
But
read a
we
lot.
do get a lot of questions about stuff in game.
There's a lot of stupid shit, like stupid questions. There's a lot of, hey, I gained a level. I am now 28 firemaking. GZ me. There's a lot of shit like that. And also, every
Rob,
once in
your
a
webcam
while,
disappeared.
there's
There you
still griefers that come into RCC and spam racist stuff. Like, that's
Yeah.
it's not as much anymore, but it still happens. Like, it's just not the
I
best place to
wish-
hang out anymore.
I wish Jagex would just,
Yeah, they never fucking did
Figure
anything
that
about
out.
that. Tom reported so many times to them, like sent them screenshots.
they need to overhaul the clan chat system.
They
I know
do.
it's been something on Maz's like to-do list for a very long time, but it needs to happen. This has been like this is years in the waiting for a real clan chat overhaul. It needs to happen,
Yeah, it
and I
does.
hope it happens this year because it could take the game a lot farther than it is now.
Don't worry, Nigel.
'Cause
It'll
I-
happen when the Australian servers come out.
Well, that's hopefully also happening this year.
So never.
Oh man.
I disagree, T6 God there. Because, like, while I do see your point, like, that does breed conversation. At the same time, like, as someone who's been in, like, other clan chats where, there's not a whole lot of that, where, like, there's a very low tolerance for really dumb shit, there's still really active clan chats out there where you're having, actual conversations, not, hey, should I go do underground pass with 1 agility? Like,
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, the type of people that are inclined to ask those type of questions are also inclined to not to take advice.
Yeah,
It's
that's
one
the
thing if
problem.
somebody asks, like, hey, is it okay if I use a hosta instead of a bludgeon here or whatever? Like, those kind of questions are legitimate. We're talking about the type of people that are like, hey, can I do this quest with way under the suggested agility requirement or things like that? And when people say no, they're like, well, I'm going to go do it anyways. And then they
Yeah.
proceed to complain for the next 3
Yeah, they're
hours
like,
that the quest is
it's an
difficult.
MMO. I can play it how I want. It's like, yeah, but you're still playing it wrong. And then
Yes, you
whining about
can.
it.
But don't spam our clan chat while you do it.
Yeah.
That sort
So
of
yeah,
thing.
I don't like simply disagree, T6, but like it depends on
There's
your
a-
preference. How do you want it to be? Like,
There's a spectrum.
yeah, do you want the chat to be
Yeah.
active, pure and simple, no matter what's being talked about, or do you want it to be a little bit less active, but what is said has value? Because
On that level, Herb Nation, the Herb Nation CC. How many of you guys have ever joined the Herb Nation CC? We've all joined it.
yeah,
Raise your hand if you've joined Herb Nation.
it's pretty special in there.
well, see,
Mhm.
Dan, the CC is community based, or I'm sorry, the wiki is community based. Everything on there has been inputted by a player, so it's basically a massive database from with information of players who are good, or
Well,
in your case, better than you.
At least knowledgeable.
Yeah.
We would hope. Ronald Trump.
I mean,
That's probably a good CC.
The thing we're saying is, though, it's repeat offenders that are really causing the problems in RCC. The same people asking stupid questions all day, every day, and then taking none of our advice. That's the problem, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think just for the type of clan chat and the type of community that KOA is, and because it's so much based in Twitch and stuff like that, I don't think that would work for what KOA is. But at the same time, like, I can appreciate both spectrum of things. So, like, in Twitch chat, people are just gonna say whatever the fuck they want to say, right? Which is great. But also is also really shitty sometimes, right? And it's like the same way with a social, just like free for all clan chat. You get the best, you get the worst. There's a spectrum. Whereas in like a very regulated, we have strict requirements. It's kind of like a more serious environment type of clan chat. It's just different structure for different folks. I think people who end up, playing the game a lot and are kind of serious about the community and like join these clans, I think that environment is right for that type of, for that type of player, for that clan. It's all about just, like your expectations and what you want to do. Because there's a lot of just open social clan chats that are very active and people are going to talk about whatever they want to talk about. Herb Nation, just join Herb Nation. It's great. You'll love it. You'll have a great time.
Herb Nation's going to start sponsoring us, by the way, guys.
Yes.
They'll pay
They
us
now
in
sponsor our
weed.
podcast. Weed.
But yeah, I think I'm
Okay.
gonna start.
Anyways,
I think I'm gonna start like selling out in the clan chat, in the KOA clan chat, and then just swapping over to the SKSC whenever I'm in there.
yeah, I
That's
think
basically what I was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's what isn't it Monica and Tom
Tom
also
is
in
Monica's in
not in
Totus.
SKSC.
what is in Monica in
Totus.
right now? Totus, yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. So I think she hangs out in Totus a lot.
Yeah.
I know she hangs out in a different CC now.
Yeah, she's never in the clan chat. Neither of them are in the KOA.
I don't hang
one.
out in any CC because I don't play this game enough right now. I'm on here like once or twice a week.
That's like how often I leave my apartment. That's pretty cool.
Unfortunately, I have to leave my apartment like every day now. It's terrible. Next thing you'll know, I'll have a tan and I don't know, start wearing like clothes that fit properly. It'll be weird being a normie.
So,
All right. Okay, here's the thing. If unlimited, if the unlimited teleports had passed, would you have had some fun? Not
No.
unlimited teleports.
not me.
Oh, it would be so tempting for me. I don't have 99 Hunter, but I would want to get it just so I could fuck with people. Oh, come on. Don't
Eh.
tell me it wouldn't be fun to just crystal bow people. Come on.
Maybe, but I would consider that a waste of my time.
Okay. Remember the other last week when we talked about dick things you've done in video games?
Yeah.
Have either of you guys ever ragged anyone in the wilderness?
No.
I have done that
Really.
at Black Chins. Yes.
Really.
Because people will show up at Black Chins and they won't know how to, hunt Black Chins. And they will essentially crash you. They'll put the traps next to your traps.
Oh yeah,
Right.
I've heard you talk about this before.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's most effective
And
if
I
you
will-
hunt with a partner at Black Chins.
Yes,
Who knows what they're
you
doing.
actually want
Yeah.
you want two people. And sometimes a third person will show up and ruin everything, basically. And I always do this. I always ask them politely to move. If they don't, what I do is I immediately pick up all my traps and I'm coming back. And this time I'm wearing PKing gear or a crystal bow, and we're gonna have some fun. I don't know. I feel
You're
like a
not
dick, but at
ragging
the
for
same
no
time,
reason.
It's like, yeah, it's
It's
like
different.
it frustrates me. It's like, please learn how to play the game, or at least not be a dick. I can't believe that you guys never rag people in the wilderness like that.
I'm an Iron Man. Why would I ever
I'm an
do
Iron
that?
Man too. I'm not gonna get anything out of it. It's just you're wasting my time. I'm gonna waste your time and have a laugh out of it.
But it's not like doubly wasting your time because they wasted your
Yes.
time, so you're gonna waste their time. So it's like double wasting.
But I'm
Yeah.
enjoying
time.
myself and I'm petty.
Yeah, I
See,
don't bank
you
stand, and I wouldn't do that either. It's a similar thing.
We already have 9900, so I mean, unless you want to go for 200 mil or some XP.
Well, I
gold.
just mean like ragging in general, though. I've never ragged,
Yeah.
and I probably won't. Like I don't know. It's funny because people are always, well, not always, but sometimes people come into my stream and be like, "You're not doing this the efficient way possible." Lost ticks on that imbue, and it's just like, well, I don't care about efficiency as much since I maxed, but I also don't ever just stand around the game doing nothing anymore. I'm always working on something.
The only thing about world hopping in T6 Scout, normally if somebody's crashing me and doing something, I will hop worlds. But the only thing about Black Chins is you want to be on the 2K worlds. And there's only 2 of those. So
True.
I'm not going to crash somebody on the other 2K world, So it just depends. Like if the other 2K world's open, yeah, I'll go hunt there. But a lot of times it's not.
Speaking of always
You don't
doing
want
something,
to trust me. You don't want to go hunt on like the 1500 world
no,
or the 1250 world.
I get
You
fucked
don't
up.
want to do it. It's bad. And the only reason I bothered with Black Chins in the first place is because Armadillo. It's the only way for Iron Man to get Armadillo.
So quickly before we move on, speaking of never bank standing or wasting time, what are you guys doing in game at the moment?
I'm wood cutting. I'm cutting teaks.
Gotcha.
I'm not playing. I am playing Gwent.
Oh,
Witcher.
I meant to try that, but I didn't get a chance to yesterday. Thank you for the code again, by the way.
It's
Yeah,
like
no
Magic
problem.
the Gathering, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a card game.
While we're on the topic, if anyone is a fan of Gwent or The Witcher 3, if you don't know, they have a card game within the game. It's a lot of fun, and they're bringing it out of the game in an official capacity. I'm wording this really poorly. It's like Hearthstone, but Gwent. I have a shitload of codes because I signed up on 18 different emails. If anyone's interested in one, let me know, and I'll fucking
Hit
throw
me up
one
with
your
one of
way.
those, Rob.
Yeah, I
Alright.
already got mine
Gotcha.
downloaded.
Yeah. Send me.
This is
send me one of
actually
those.
Gwent is actually the game that formerly Mod Merchant got partnered on Twitch for playing. He plays Gwent
Yeah.
full time.
Yeah, he plays Gwent.
It's actually got a
They're,
pretty big following.
They're having a $100,000 tournament.
Ooh, holy shit!
Yeah,
I gotta start playing.
So, Rob, have you played Magic the Gathering ever, or do you know kind of what it's about?
There is a Steam game that is Magic the Gathering. I don't know if you know of it. I don't remember
Yeah, it's
what
the most
exactly
recent-
I know what you're
called.
talking about.
It's the most recent
It's
iteration they brought out. It's meant to teach new players how to play it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
all I played.
Okay, because I was gonna ask, is Gwent is it more like Hearthstone or more like Magic? Because Magic is a little more complicated.
Magic. I don't know.
I don't know. Is it more complex than Hearthstone? Is my question. I guess.
Yes, but not to the degree of Magic, because in Magic you deal with land-based cards and shit, and that really
Yeah,
affects
Magic gets
the
pretty-
play style, and
Magic
that
gets
takes it
pretty deep.
really in depth. Yeah, you kind of have that, but not to the same extent as you would in Magic. But I would say it is more complicated than Hearthstone.
Yeah, I enjoy Hearthstone. I played some Hearthstone, and actually there's a game that my friends have turned me on to recently called Eternal. It's the Eternal card game or something like that.
Yeah. Who was talking about that? That's come up before.
I think probably Wes. Wes probably talked about it in your chat because he's been playing it quite a bit.
Maybe.
I was actually at his house the other week, and we were hanging out, and he was showing it to me. We were playing it. It's a cool game.
I think I remember. I think I remember hearing Witwix talk about it on his stream. That's where I heard. Like, I actually heard somebody talking about it, not just like in the chat. But actually,
I don't
Wes
know. In
watches
general,
Witwix too.
I like playing card games because I played a lot of Magic, and I think Magic's cool. So that's something I can get behind. So I definitely want to check out some Gwent.
Yeah, me too.
Because at the very least, it's going to be fun. Oh, is this a RuneScape podcast? I'm pretty sure it is.
We should probably change directory at this point.
Yeah.
Gaming talk shows.
Gaming talk show. I don't know. Do you think we could be successful in gaming talk shows category?
Probably no more or less than in the RuneScape one.
Fair.
It's mostly
that's my question. Do people just like hang out in the gaming talk shows category, or is it one of those things where it's like, oh, my favorite streamer happens to be in the gaming talk shows category?
I feel like it's probably more of the latter.
Yeah, I think it's more that one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rob's just like sending codes out to people.
No, like I have them on my phone.
What a
Like I have all of my emails like consolidated into one place. I just searched Gwent and I'm like typing out the URL basically for the code.
Yeah, I was about to say the managing 18 emails sounds really shitty.
Speaking of emails, we have one.
Oh my gosh, should we get another one?
No. I'm saying we have an email address.
Oh,
If anybody wants to email us, if you guys want to tell us CX again, then go for it. RFP
the one guy that emailed us
podcast
CX.
OSRS at gmail.com. I check it about once every 3 weeks. So yeah.
That should work for you, Nigel.
Once every like never. Yeah, I just got a notification on my phone.
Okay.
Oh, speaking of CX, I think probably the reason that we get less bullshit in our clan chat now is because Ice is no longer on Twitch.
That could be.
His CC is still active in the game.
I was gonna say he still has a CC, he still has a Discord.
Yeah.
So maybe. I think part of it's because Monica and Tom don't hang out in the CC anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
The people who were trying to spam racist bullshit wanted to be, getting maximum attention.
Yeah, they want to be seen on their streams.
Yeah. So
it's one of the most like that's one of like the lamest parts about Twitch to me. It's like, like the bigger audience you reach, the more negative people are going to try to affect your broadcast. It's kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, it's shitty sometimes, but
it's one of those things that's like, it kind of sucks. It's like when you're a smaller streamer and like you achieve some level of success, you feel really good because it's all kind of like a positive thing. And then when you like kind of really get bigger and like you really reach like a bigger audience or whatever, right? Then there's just like all of a sudden there's just this wave of negativity that all of a sudden like people just like, hey, he's on like the top 2 like rows of people in this directory. Fuck this guy. Like, I don't get it, man.
Yeah, T6 says the children of Twitch are fucked. It probably is like a swarm of angry 12-year-olds that didn't ask their parents before going online.
Oh, I mean, that's the thing. Like, to go online and just be a complete and utter asshole, there's no fucking way you pay bills, right? Like, period. Let's be real.
Yeah, it's not how you're spending your time if you work for money.
Like there's no fucking way like you have loans, I don't know. I guess that's the only we get to have the last laugh.
Like, have fun going and eating crayons after you're done trolling me. It's probably how you spend your free time.
Be like, hey, after I ban you, you should ask your parents for a hug. You need it, dude.
Get the tendies.
My tendies Actually, I should just play the clip off the soundboard.
Isn't it really loud though?
I mean,
relatively loud, yeah.
It's a little loud. All right.
You know what's interesting? On the topic of Twitch and kind of making changes to help your stream be better. I was just talking to Rig before my stream today, and it wasn't even on the topic of, it didn't come about because we were talking about like how to make your stream a better place, but it came about because he asked like how many followers I'm on now, and I told him, and I was like, yeah, it's been pretty slow. connection loss has been turned off for a while, and I feel like I have a hard time maintaining followers sometimes. Like some days I'll lose a couple instead of gaining any, and that's really kind of annoying. And of course, followers aren't that important, but it still sucks to see. And he was like, what's helped me is follower only mode, and I was like, yeah, actually, I guess it's true. I never really thought about it. And he's like, yeah, I turned it on out of necessity because there's a lot of people who come into his stream and just be an asshole because he's a bigger streamer now. But he said that he noticed a crazy increase in followers every day because of follower only mode. And you can turn it on to the minimum. They don't have to be followed for like a day or whatever. They can just follow and then they can talk. But he said that that's made a huge difference. And I always kind of thought it would be a silly thing for a small streamer to do because then you could be scaring away potential people that might come in and want to just say hi, and they won't be able to do that without following. And I also think that there's a certain level of the bigger you are on a platform like this, the more you can get away with. So I always kind of thought that people would get mad if a smaller streamer was like, oh, arrogant, follower only mode, you only have 4K follows. And I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'll try it. So I turned it on, and then within the first 10 minutes of my stream today, I got 2 new followers, and I was like, maybe there's something to this. And then I got auto-hosted by Mr. Mammal, ended up getting hit with several hundred viewers, and not a single person was upset that I had follower-only mode on. It was actually really good, and I ended up with a lot of people today. So I think there's actually something to that.
Also, I think actually it plays an important role of also, if you've ever been chat botted, I don't know if that's ever happened to you.
Yes.
It has happened to me. There's 2 things you can do to avoid chatbots now. There used to only be one. One was you turn on verified emails only. So those are the only people who can chat with verified emails. That makes it really tough for chatbots because they use unverified emails usually. Because it's really tough to verify 300 emails. It actually takes some time to do it, and I'm not dedicated when my accounts are all going to get banned in a couple days. And 2, obviously, we now have follower only mode. Well, I mean, their chatbot may also be a follow bot, but there's not necessarily overlap there. So they may just not be able to use their chatbot in your chat because they would need to follow on 300 accounts or whatever. Yeah. Which is also takes time. And you just got to make yourself less of a target. It's one of those things. It's like locks are only designed to keep, honest people honest, right? Mm-hmm. But if I'm going to steal from you and your neighbor doesn't have a lock on his door, guess whose house I'm breaking into,
Yeah, I feel
it's one of those things.
I always assumed I'd get some backlash. People would be like, small streamer is a scumbag for making people follow before they chat. But of course, nobody actually had a problem with it. I just always kind of assumed people might. So I just didn't do it before. But now it's kind of like, where's the downside, right? You don't get the chat bots. You don't get people trolling you out of nowhere. You get, you get more followers, which makes you feel good. See the number go up. And what actually helps undermine the troll's comment is that people can then, who are watching you, they see that the troll followed before commenting because he had to, which means he only followed to be an asshole, which just makes him look even more ridiculously stupid.
He has to put the ball in your court. He's your bitch now. You followed me, and now you're my bitch.
Yeah.
You have to support me to chat. Sorry.
I don't know. I think I might stick with it. Before, I always thought it was just more of a I'm playing a story-based game. I don't want spoilers, follower-only mode. But I actually might stick with it because it seems like it just might be a really good thing.
Yeah,
make it a more positive place, get more followers. What's bad about that?
I think there was a lot of backlash from people initially on what it was, and I've been to people's chats where it's follower-only mode. For instance, Lethal Frag. He's a really, really, really big streamer. His stream is followers only, and I wasn't following him on this Twitch account. I follow him on my very first Twitch account, but I was watching his stream and I was just like, oh hey, I have to follow him to to chat. Okay, I guess I'll do that. And now I end up watching his stream more because I follow him. It's just one of those things. It's like Twitch. If Twitch is putting something on the table, why would you not take it? You know? But there was a lot of backlash initially, I think, where people were like, "Oh, that's greedy."
Yeah, but it's a lot of people, also follows are free.
That say that, yeah.
So it's not really greed anyway. It's it costs you nothing but one click.
Exactly. But I don't know. I feel like a lot of that feedback from people, they don't stream,
Yeah. And also, if somebody doesn't like it, they have to follow you to tell you that they don't like it. So fuck them.
Like you said, man, balls in your court. Exactly.
That's another thing. Yeah, Dan points out sometimes he forgets to follow a streamer, and I've had that happen a lot since they moved stuff around on the Twitch website because the follow button's not in the same place anymore. And I've had plenty of times people are like, "Hey, I thought I was following like a week ago, but here you go." That won't happen anymore. Like they'll have to.
Yeah, I get people. Well, not recently, but like when I used to stream more, like people come in and be like, "Oh, hey, I remember watching you that one time. Sorry, I forgot to follow." Yeah, that does totally happen. You know, people will see you from a raid or whatever, and then they had to go get food or whatever. They enjoyed your stream, but they forgot to follow.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's well now if they wanted to say something in chat, well, they already got to follow you to begin with. It's just I don't see the downside in it.
Yeah,
but clearly some people pretend there is one. I think. What does RFT stand for? Recipe for Disaster. Ask Jagex to sue us. We're definitely infringing.
It's up above Nigel's head. It's right there on the screen, dude.
Yes. Dude, you know how many times we get that question? Like, hey, do you know that Jagex is gonna like get you guys for copyright infringement? It's like, okay, you understand Recipe for Disaster is just like a phrase, right?
Have you ever had that comment?
We get that comment in chat like a lot.
Really? I don't think I've ever noticed
we always
it.
just ignore it.
I've never even noticed that comment before. I mean, it's a stupid comment.
I'm sitting here like, okay, Recipe for Disaster is like a phrase. It's not copyright.
It's a collection. It's a collection of 3 words. We checked to make sure that no other podcasts that were still active had this name, and the graphics were original art design by somebody we commissioned to make them. There's nothing that we infringe upon here.
I know. It's like, okay, like Recipe for Disaster is a very common phrase. I don't think Jagex has any rights to that phrase.
I think we need to sue Jagex for making a quest that has the same name as our podcast, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, Swaffle, I'd say go for it, man. And also just, you know, you should have very positive reactions to any future pets you get. That would also help. I really want to play the Swafflegasm, but... One
time I saw Swaffle in the fishing guild, and I told him that I liked his hell puppy, and he didn't respond to me. What's up with that, Swaffle?
What a dick.
Wow. Rude. I don't know. I love that hell puppy reaction. It's my favorite thing. One of my favorite things. One of many favorite things. There are many favorite things in this community.
You guys want to say hi to Kristen?
Swaffle is definitely botting.
Kristen just got here and she's interrupting. You want to say hi to her?
Yeah, let's say hi.
Hi, Kristen.
Come say hi. Come show the YouTube audience why I keep looking over to the right side of my room.
I've been doing the can-can, I think. I don't know how to do the can-can.
You just kick your fucking legs up. That's how you do the can-can.
I was attempting that.
You were.
I don't want to kick your router off the thing, and then...
Yeah, don't do that.
Then you'll lose connection.
Don't do that.
Boot chase offline.
Don't do that. Yeah, don't boot me offline.
Kristen D does.
We're talking about a lot of not very RuneScape-y topics.
Oh, good. That's my favorite.
Apparently Swaffle didn't see my
We were talking about the polls, and then we just got super off topic. We always get off topic every week.
Tangents are guaranteed to happen.
Yes, that's something we accept here on the podcast, and we're okay with. We try not to be super focused, but we always do cover everything we mean to cover.
Yeah.
On the topic of tangents, let's get back on topic to RuneScape, I guess.
Yes, we probably should do that.
We've been off for like an hour, and Rob's just like patiently waiting.
Yeah, we need to unmute Rob.
What? What am I waiting for?
You've been waiting for us to shut up about everything that isn't RuneScape.
Oh, dude, no, you guys go on. I'm just playing
Gwent.
cards, dude.
He's just like, I'm trying to read what the fuck these cards do.
He's like,
I'm
this
like
is
over
fine.
here strategizing in my head.
He's like, this is free time now. I'm gonna play Gwent. Fuck you guys.
Rob, have you heard the phrase RTFC?
Real time RTSC, real time strategy.
RTFC.
FC.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the F would stand for. I assume RT is real time.
No, stands for read the fucking card.
Oh.
Which comes up in Magic all the time because somebody will try to do something and you go, okay, and then you just like blow them out of the fucking water because they did something dumb. They're like, wait, what? And you're like, read the fucking card. Or they'll forget they can't do something because some card's in play, and you'd be like, you can't do that. Why not? read the fucking card.
Hmm.
Yeah, man. It's something you get to tell the new players all the time.
That
Because
sounds
they
like
make
fun.
mistakes. Yes, you get to tell them the RTFC. It's important, man. Even
Yeah.
at like competitive level tournaments, that would come up all the time. I've lost games because I didn't read the fucking card, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not good.
So if I if I were to start playing Gwent, I would read a lot of fucking cards.
Yeah.
Many cards. All right, let's talk about RuneScape again.
Fine.
We're like somewhere in the middle of these polls. Question 8.
Still? That was like an hour ago.
Yeah, I know. We've been off topic for like forever. This is still about RuneScape, right? If Fire Making Cape is a light source, which also means your Max Cape is light source. Cool. I don't understand how anyone voted under this, but 5,000 players apparently thought that was really way too good. Or maybe they just don't like Max players.
Bastards.
How's it feel, Chase? You're in the 1%.
Feels pretty good.
Like, I'm privileged. It's nice.
We're all privileged, to be honest.
Smithing Cape gets a buff back to what it should have been,
Yeah.
plus what it currently is, which is pitiful. So Smithing Cape is useful again. Yay! Max players everywhere rejoice. Because I'm pretty sure they're like the only people who cared. Let's see. Construction Skill Cape has a right-click option to teleport directly to your house. That's pretty nice. Because before you had to go through the whole menu like every time. Does that work on the Max Cape? Or no, wait, no, this isn't.
There's no
in-game
way it
yet,
could.
but would this? Yeah, there's no way it could work on the Max Cape, right? There's just too many options. Too many toggles. How many options are on the right click on the Max Cape? It's like absurd,
2,
right?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 when you're wearing it.
It's a lot. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we might actually reach a point sometime in the future with the Max Cape where like there's just something they want to add to the game and they can't because Max Cape, they couldn't put it on the Max Cape or whatever.
I don't know.
How close are they running out of options in the Max Cape?
I don't know how many it holds. Max Cape
Yeah,
gonna be
I
lit. It's
know-
already lit.
I know, like for instance, with the right-click teleport on like the Pharaoh Scepter, they could only do a certain amount of options on it. And they could only do it a certain way. But I think it was because of like it's because of like the wheeled option and stuff like that, right? I don't know. I know there are limits in the engine with like what they can do with items and right-click options. I don't know. I guess it's a question for like Ash or Kieran or one of those guys.
Yeah.
I don't know. You gotta assume like the Max Cape is close to the limit because there's a ridiculous amount of stuff on the Max Cape. Operate, change colors, make it dance.
Change colors. Well, that's why we have so many different Max Cape combinations, because that's not possible.
Yeah, exactly. Like you have to like use the option,
Hey, I
or
found-
you use the thing with the cape. And
I found Trance at the Agility Pyramid. He's doing a clue.
ask him what Hannah's up to.
Really fucking some other dude.
Oh, right in the feels. Are they still together?
I think so.
Yeah, they're engaged.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Man, I guess that RWT money really paid off.
You know, the joke here is that he's a cuck. It's always the joke.
Yes. Actually, I don't even remember how much did the RWT.
I don't.
Wasn't it like
There's a
it was
lot.
11 bill between the two.
it was
of
like a
them.
lot, right?
Jeez.
There was also that one guy. It was like somebody recently. He claimed one of his accounts got falsely banned, and he's like, "Right, I'm gonna RWT all of it if you don't unban me, Jagex." And then he just did it anyways, even though he got his account unbanned.
Oh yeah,
the-
Grossy Gore is having a kid.
Can we discuss Gross Gore being pregnant?
Score is pregnant. Oh my gosh.
God,
Oh, fuck
Gina.
up, lads.
God.
He sure did.
We're not staying on topic very well.
No.
Yeah, it was the 200 mil RC guy, right? Yeah. They supposedly had like 40 billion gold or something. I don't know. Something ridiculous.
Oh,
Man, RDBT. All right, when it all comes to the end, when RuneScape's finally done for you, RWT, yay or nay?
If it's finally done,
Yes.
though, will people still be buying gold?
Finally done for you.
Oh.
Like you're ready to say goodbye.
Oh.
For me, no, because I've never
Uh,
RWT'd on any game
yeah,
I've ever
no.
played.
Nor have I.
Because games are for fun for me.
Yeah, I don't really see the reason. I'm hoping
I don't know.
that by the time I'm done with the game forever, I will be stable, so it won't matter. Like I won't need to do that.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
I don't know, it's just I don't know. Because games I've thought I was done with, like Guild Wars, that game is fucking ancient. It's like 15 years old or something.
Yeah.
It's super old. I logged on last week and I played it this week. I never thought I was coming back to that game. You know. For me, it's just like you never know when you're really done. For me. I don't know, Rob. What do you think? I can understand why people do it. Why people RWT when they're done or whatever. I get it. But I don't know. It's just not for me. What about you, Rob? We didn't hear.
I
much from
certainly
you.
would. Like, considering how much money, like, RuneScape GP translates into, like, if you've got a few builds just kicking around, that's a few $1,000s of virtual currency.
Yeah.
And I don't know. When I came back to the game, when I first joined old school, I really enjoyed starting from nothing and then the grind up. If I was ever to quit for an extended period of time, I would most likely RWT it, being honest, just to get some of the money that I dumped into it back. Because I don't know about you guys, I got some bills to pay.
Yeah, membership ain't free.
No, it's not. Granted, I paid for like every month of bonds, but
Yeah.
yeah. If I was ever to come back to the game after that, I'd probably start fresh again, just because I really do enjoy the early game.
Yeah, me too. Actually, I mean, I guess that's one argument to make. Yeah, fresh start.
I
Because I
wouldn't
mean,
mind
the
scrapping
game
the
would
account.
most likely have changed a lot since you left as well.
Yeah, like if you're taking an extended stay, like look at where RuneScape is now compared to 2 years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Things have changed a lot.
vastly different.
I can see that
either way, you'd have
perspective
to
too.
relearn stuff.
Yeah, that's why I said earlier. Is like I understand why people do it. It's just I've never really viewed in-game currency that way personally.
Not me either.
It's just I've never done it in any game I've played, so I don't see why I would start with RuneScape. But it's a perspective I can I can understand and appreciate. All right. On the topic of RWT, rune crafting. So double laws, double deaths. That's a thing now. Eventually, soon, one day. How do we feel about that?
No different than when we talked about it last week.
Yeah, like double laws, I'm like sure whatever, but double deaths I think is really cool.
Yeah,
I think that's
and hopefully
awesome.
we'll keep the price of death runes not crazy.
Yeah, because they're like currently more than nature runes, aren't they?
They have been for a long time, I think.
Yeah. I mean, well, nature runes used to be a lot more, and then they crashed.
Yeah.
I don't remember why they crashed, but they did. Maybe it's because RC made it way easier to get double nats.
Could be.
Maybe that's why. I don't know. If anyone in the chat knows why nature runes crashed whenever they did, let us know. I'm not like some sort of skilling historian, so I can't really tell you. Please tell me that's a rank in the Skilling Sanctuary clan.
Clan
historian.
Oh.
I want to be the
You guys
clan
have a-
treasurer.
The clan secretary, the Skilling secretary. Oh, God. Oh, perfect. Also, Fitty just started playing.
Cool, we can't hear it.
Why don't you watch the stream, Chase?
I am.
You're like, but I
I'm not
am the
listening to
stream.
it.
I am the stream.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Question 13. Should it be possible to empty rune pouches by shift clicking? Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More stuff for shift click. Easy escape. Please. I can't wait till they add shift left click options for banking. One day. I can dream. Like, come on, man. Like, shift left click to withdraw all or deposit all. Come
Shift
on.
left click to instantly liquidate your bank.
Shift left click to sell all.
Yeah, to the GE instantly.
Oh my god. Can you imagine if shift left click when you're like in a buying or selling interface bought or sold for the maximum value?
I think it would have to be for the,
Oh my
the median
God.
value.
Okay, whatever. But still, can you imagine just like rune packs for days?
Flipping
Come
at
on.
maximum power.
We're making maximum money at Karamja shop. Sell maple bows unstrung at maximum speed. Can't wait, man. All right. Should pieces of the rogue's equipment earned from the rogue's den be awarded in a set order to prevent players from receiving duplicates? Thank God players have the sense to vote yes to this. Can you imagine if they voted no? Say, all right, every other set in the game makes sense, except for this one. Good luck.
Yeah, that's a good change.
Sometimes I'm just like worried really comments on stuff won't pass because the player base just hates certain players. They're just like, oh, you're a skiller? Get fucked.
Values
Worried,
your
man. Or
rogue
like, oh, this
kits.
will benefit Iron Man? Too bad. Devalues all my rogue skits. Yeah, me too. I had to get that set twice. One time actually took long on my main, took me longer than on my hardcore Iron Man when I had way better stats on my main Iron Man, just because RNG is such a bitch for the rogue skit. Or the rogue's outfit rather. It's a good change. If you're ever planning on making any new accounts ever, you like this change. Activity bar for pest control. Yeah, did this one actually pass? Because it's really close on the website. Let me check in game real quick. I just want to double check because it's so close on the poll. Gonna double check this. Way down here. Yeah, no, it's passing. It's passed by way more in game than it is on the website. So activity bar and pest control now.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Because it made no sense. Okay. Do you guys ever remember you would go to pest control and people would be like, "Oh, don't go on the veteran boat. Go on the intermediate boat or whatever because you fail less games, therefore more points." Because the veteran boat was only worth your time if you didn't fail every X out of however many games, right?
Yeah.
Like you had to win X amount of games per attempts to actually get more points than the medium.
It's one win every 4 minutes.
Yeah. And like games have a minimum amount of time. I don't remember what it is. Is it 2 minutes per game?
I believe so.
I think so. Like you have to win 1 out of every 2 games.
Yeah.
So for it to be better than the other boat. So a lot of people.
It's also not taking into time or like to account like how long it takes people to get back on the lander and the match to actually start. Because sometimes people will just fucking sit there because they're AFKing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is why the activity timer helps, because you won't be able to AFK as hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just pest control in general is just kind of one of those things that makes you kind of scratch your head a little bit, and you're glad you only have to spend like a few hours doing it, and then you're done with it forever. I don't know, man. I wish minigames would really just get overhauled like a lot, because minigames could be one of the more fun aspects of this game. Yeah, didn't they pull that minigame reward shop like forever ago?
Yeah, dude, that was one of the first like controversial things on the Q&As.
Yeah, we just couldn't decide.
Yeah, that was years ago.
What to put in it? Yeah, that was like one of the first things that passed, wasn't it?
Yeah, they were like, we could have
And
put
they've
that
just
in
never
the.
implemented it.
They kept bringing it up too, because that was back when I used to watch the Q&A every week. They were like, yeah, we could have put that in the minigame reward shop, but it didn't pass.
Yeah. Well, no, I think the shop passed, but like none of the rewards did. I think was the problem.
Whichever.
Yeah. I think that was the
Yeah,
problem.
like we could have a shop with nothing in it.
Yeah, no, there's just nothing to put in the shop.
Yeah.
It's bizarre. I think it's one of those cases where it's like it's good game design, but you know, the fact that players have to vote on all this stuff, there's just so many things we can't do in old school because of the polling system, I think. I think minigames are definitely one of those things that just get to stick. Minigames could be so much better than they are. But they just can't be because the polling system. Because minigames come up in polling system and it's like, unless we're making it easier or like better somehow, I just think players don't go for it. Ugh. And onto that, I mean, I guess we should talk about Castle War stuff, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they also made the points for pest control a little bit better. That was question 16.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys want to talk about the Castle War stuff? So Halos cost less now. They're 75 tickets. Magic armor from Castle Wars is 20, 40, 30. Ranged armor is 40, 30. Yeah, so like basically like what I was saying before, like we're making the mini games easier or better or whatever, instead of really doing the overhauls and changes that they might actually need. This is the stuff that seems to pass with mini games, and I don't know, how do you guys feel about that?
I don't really care.
Yeah, I think that's just how it is. Like players can't really be bothered to care about it.
I don't give a
Just
shit about
where
Castle
the game
Wars.
is.
I don't care how they change it. I'm not gonna do it still.
Yeah, I think players are just in such like an efficient mindset now. Like that's just how the player base plays. So yeah, mini games are just people don't want to bother with it. Mini games are mini games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you guys like that instead of upping just like purely the amount of points we got from Castle Wars, essentially devaluing the really prestigious, melee armor set? Instead, we just get cheaper everything else, basically. Do you guys agree with that, or do you think they should have just overhauled the points in general?
I think they should have overhauled the points in general.
Yeah, I actually.
Because like it comes back around to what we were talking about last week about time invested. It should not take you nearly 1,000 hours for a shitty set of pixels in a video game.
A shitty golden set of pixels. Come on.
They don't even look good on that.
They
set,
don't
though.
look good. No. Imagine, if you will, you took all the time and effort, that 1,000 hours that you spent into these shitty pixels to make your e-peen like 1.5 centimeters larger. If you worked a job for those 1,000 hours, that's a lot of money.
Wishes were fishes.
Or literally anything else you could be doing in 1,000 hours of time.
Yeah.
I don't know. What cracks me up about that is like people boosted points like really hard for a lot of stuff.
That as well. When boosting was a thing,
fixed the boosting, and then now they're like, no, don't devalue my achievement.
yeah,
like, come on.
boosting took 120 hours
like,
to get the golden set of armor instead of the actual 1,000. With how it was proposed before, with what they first said it was, with the point increase, it still would have taken longer to get that set of armor than it would have to boost it.
Yeah, like sometimes I feel like RuneScape falls into this trap of like, if something in the game is unbalanced and like is really OP, you should just abuse the fuck out of it, because like there's gonna be no consequence, and you're gonna be in the special club of people that got to abuse it and benefited largely from it. Like that's how I feel about stuff like like boosting, or like there have been some bugs in the past. Unless it's something like stupidly egregious like gold duping, you're probably not gonna get in any trouble for it.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone got banned from boosting
Castle Wars?
points in Castle Wars.
Not a
No,
chance.
I don't think anyone got banned from it. Yeah, like Wintertodt in the first month. Like Ring of Wealth has had some interesting things going on with it before. Yeah, there's like so many things in the game that just don't necessarily work the way they were supposed to, or like were clearly too overpowered on release. Like I think Wintertodd's the biggest example, right? Like everyone knew Wintertodt was fucked on release. Like there's no way the drop table should have been that good. Well, why wouldn't you abuse it? Jagex took like a week or two to fix it. Like if you didn't abuse it, you just missed out. Right? And it's like the same way with boosting Castle Wars. If you didn't abuse it, you missed out. And that's kind of like the pattern with Jagex, right? If something is too good to be true, you should just abuse it before Jagex fixes it. I think is the general advice. And this is the advice in the World of Warcraft community as well for a long time. The motto in this game in the World of Warcraft was abuse early, abuse often. If something was clearly broken in the game, just do it. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I think the only cases recently where something was like really broken and people got banned, it was gold dupes and trading items over to their Iron Man. That's the only two instances I can think that people actually got banned. What was it like? Stuff with like toy cats, or sorry, the toy mice with agility and stuff like that.
Yeah, you could put those down and pick them up repeatedly.
Pickpocketing heroes with like the with like all like the RDK benefits and stuff like that. You know, people were getting like crazy EXP from that and stupid amounts of money. You know, there's been all sorts of stuff. Yeah, paladins and heroes. There's been all sorts of stuff like that in this game's history. And generally it falls on the side of, well, you should probably just have done it. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that? Do you think that's just the way games are? Do you think that's just the way it's got to be? Because I mean, you can't go banning all your players.
No.
You know?
Yeah, I think it's just. Yeah, I think it's more like a fact of nature when it comes to MMOs than anything else.
Yeah. Because I mean, like, I think it all stems back to like the fact that like Jagex just refuses to do rollbacks. They will not roll your account back.
Yeah.
They're either gonna ban you or no. It's one or the other. Either you're getting a hammer or you're not. You know, it might be a temp ban. Like a lot of the people that abuse like paladins and stuff like that for thieving, they got temp bans. They got like a 3-day ban or whatever. Or the people who abused agility, they got like 3-day bans. Yeah, I think I can agree. It's just the way it's got to be.
Yeah.
You can't just go perm banning everyone, especially when RuneScape takes so much more time than other games too.
Yeah.
There's another problem, I think, and that's why it confuses me that they just refuse to do rollbacks. I guess maybe it's because they would have to hire more staff, you know, to more support staff to sort out, you know, rollbacks and things like that. It can't be that they don't have the infrastructure for it. I don't buy it. Or they could definitely get the engine tools for it, and it would maybe take a month of development time for them. Which I mean, like a month of development time isn't nothing, but like it would bring your game into the 21st century. You know, it's not 1993 anymore. Jagex, come on. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's got to be. Can you guys think of any legitimate reason why Jagex shouldn't offer rollbacks?
Not really.
No.
Didn't we discuss this at length last week?
Yeah, this comes up often. I think.
Nah, it sounds fine to me.
I don't know. I don't know what Jagex's deal is. There's so many things where I'm just like, why Jagex? Why? Another thing that makes me go, why? Elite Wilderness Achievement Diary, noted bones when you PK people. 71% yes. That makes me kind of sad. Because this legitimately was going to be a big buff for PKers and would have given them a reason to have done the Elite Diary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, like what? It just seems like. Was there like any concern? I know somebody raised a concern of like, you know, people might kill their own Green Dragon bots, get the noted bones, bank with like a legitimate account or something. I don't know. I don't know why this wouldn't pass. Does this seem OP? This just pains me. I know a lot of PKOs are really upset about this as well. Like I know Wiggled and a few other guys. I know Skidler was pretty upset about it. I think Ian said some stuff as well. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand. Like I don't PK, but I think this is a good thing to do. I mean, because like the Wilderness Achievement Diary almost doesn't matter for PKing at all currently, as is, unless you really want an infinite teleport out to the, you know, found a rune. The hard diary gets you pretty much everything you need. The Elite Diary provides almost nothing more except for maybe like the Lava Dragon shortcut, right? Because I mean, you get the Obelisk teleports with the Hard Diary. That's pretty much all you need for PKing, right? If you want to go like deep wild. I don't know, like I just don't understand why we can't give more to PKers. They play this game too, you know?
Yeah, I mean, people might use the argument that they don't want the JMods developing around a small percentage of the player base, but this is like one update for PKers over the last like year and a half.
PKers got shafted so often though.
They
like,
do.
You remember when we were voting on if purists could have blessed D'Hide chaps? Because those of you guys who don't know, regular D'Hide chaps do not have a defense requirement, and they're one of the best in slot, pieces of gear to wear for pures, if they use range or whatever. But blessed D'Hide chaps, the only difference is they provide a +1 prayer bonus, and of course, alignment with the respective god if they go to God Wars Dungeon or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But essentially the only difference is it's more of a risk and it has +1 prayer bonus. But they have a defense requirement, right? Because originally it was intended for the chaps to have a defense requirement, but they don't because that's the way they were implemented, right? It was just like an afterthought.
Yeah.
So the question was, well, should we let pures wear blessed D'Hide chaps because there's already like this precedent that the other D'Hide chaps don't have a defense requirement? And people voted no, which blows my mind because the only difference between those two items is +1 prayer bonus, which is like nothing. That means nothing, pretty much. It's
like saying peers shouldn't be allowed to use blessings.
Yeah, exactly. Like it blows my mind, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the ability for pures to go back to Apatol or like Addy gloves and stuff like that.
Well, that's like quest locked, isn't it? Oh, and there's a
Yeah,
reason for
that's
it.
that is quest locked because if you could go back to Apatol, you could get Addy gloves.
Right.
But like the thing is like, I don't think most players are getting PK'd by like low level pures, you know.
No.
Like,
Peers just PK each other for the most part. Or there's
exactly.
or it's a peer clan and multi, and that's pretty much it.
That's
like
what I don't
options.
understand. People vote no to stuff that like will affect like low level peers or like mid level peers, right? But like that's not the people that they're getting PK'd by. Like you're getting PK'd by like clans of people with like B gloves and stuff like that.
Well, it goes
like,
back to what we talked about with the poll
124s.
system. If there was a way for them to only allow Iron Men to vote in issues that affect Iron Men, or only peers vote in issues that affect peers, that would be a better way to do it. Not like it's probably not very easy for them to do that, and that probably will never happen, but it would be better.
Yeah, like Squinch brings up a good point, like asking low level peers 2.2k worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
doesn't fucking matter to them.
You're asking a community that's so at odds with each other to vote for things for other players, and we know that players only are going to vote in their own interests.
Yeah. Period.
They're not going to vote for what's best for RuneScape. They're going to vote for what's best for them. That's what players care about. There's so many things that would have made this game so much better for the PKing community that just haven't passed. And so many things that people who don't PK think would be good for PKing that have passed. Like some of the bounty hunter changes, not all people who PK'd necessarily liked. In fact, some of those changes were worse in their opinion. So it's like, I really wish that question about should we let respective communities vote on the content like that they play, right? I wish that would have passed because I think that on the whole that would have resulted in better updates for the communities that play. Because like let's be real, like pures aren't gonna care about like high-end PVM stuff unless they have a main that they play on a lot, right?
Yeah.
And like consequently, like I'm not gonna care about updates for pures unless like I have one to play on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with like Iron Man stuff. If you don't play an Iron Man, like you have no frame of reference for if something for Iron Man is good or not. I don't know. It's just the poll, the worst poll in the history of polls.
Yep.
Yes. I don't know. I think at the end of the day, are you guys happy with the direction like polls and like RuneScape in general is going right now?
No.
Why not, Rob?
No.
Because they pulled the polling system.
The great failure of RuneScape polling.
I'd
That
say
was the
that's-
moment I lost all faith in the polling system.
I'd say that's the stupidest thing they've done, but
Yeah,
Green
I'm
Pixel.
I definitely agree with that.
I'm not unhappy
Green
with the direction the
Pixel.
game's going. I'm still happy with a lot of the updates, and I'm still happy with the direction the game's going.
Most of the updates, I'm happy with, yes, but some things that have not passed, upset me. Like, for instance, the customization of the spellbook. That's one thing that's going to bother me for a long time, because there's no reason that shouldn't have, other than people viewed it as too good, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the only legitimate argument that people have is like, well, I think that's too good that you can move spells around.
Which is
I don't know,
really dumb.
It seems like a no-brainer to me, but
Should have been.
Yeah, it should have been. That should be a thing that we should have in the game.
See, the
Because
thing
either
is,
way, good.
it's called a no-brainer for a reason. Why do you call it a no-brainer? Because you'd have to have no brain to not get this or to not be of this mindset. Apparently,
Yeah.
a big portion of the player base has no brain.
well, I think one of the biggest failings of the polling system is that it requires 75%,
Yeah.
which is
Well, didn't
for
they?
certain types of updates is okay, right?
They pulled the change. The change that they pulled to the polling system would have been to lower the necessary amount, right? From 75 to 60 or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, they wanted to change it from 75 to like 66. Or
So
something.
it would have been more reasonable, but yeah, of course, that was never going to pass because they used the flawed polling system to try to correct the flawed polling system.
Yeah, I mean, well, just thinking about it, like we had this discussion before, right? And I think we had it when Rig was on, and he weighed in, which is like, you're pretty much we're almost guaranteed to never get a new skill in old school
Yeah.
RuneScape, period,
That bothers me.
because it changes the game so fundamentally, and there's so many different communities that a new skill would affect. There's so many different types of players a new skill would affect. It's almost impossible to get that many groups of players to agree on specific portions of the skill, right? Because everyone has different ideas of what they want out of it or they don't want out of it, right? Because, like, how many times did we poll Artisan? I think Artisan's been polled 3 times, right? At least I know
it
it's
was
been
at
at
least
least
2.
twice.
Yeah,
Is at least twice.
at least 2,
But I'm
and then
pretty sure-
sailing as well got
Yeah,
pulled
Sailing
in
got polled.
once or twice.
Raid armors is another big thing that would have been
Yeah.
like a big change to the game, and we made so many different tweaks and we tried raid armors so many different ways. But like, it's just one of those things when it's nostalgic, like the skills that we have now. There's a big amount of nostalgia, and like with raid armors, the best armors we have in the game, like God Wars Ninja armors, it's so nostalgic. Best in slot stuff and new skills affects everyone in the game. It's one of those things that, like, it's just so contentious. People have so many different ideas of how it should be done. You can just almost never please everyone. And
Yeah.
I feel like 75% pretty much almost has to be everyone. Like 25% of players it's small. It's a small minority. Let's put it this way. The fate of nations is decided by a 50-50 vote, you know, in a lot of cases. And even what is considered a super majority is 66%.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're talking about, do we go to war? Do we bomb people? You know,
Yeah, it's because
we
it's
just require a simple majority. for
similar
that
issue.
kind
It's hard to get people to agree. The bigger the sample size, the smaller of a majority you want to ask for because it's not reasonable to expect anything more than that.
Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't say like. I wouldn't say the polling system as it is. Well, actually, no, I won't say it. I wouldn't say the polling system in general is a bad idea.
No.
I think the polling system as it's being used makes it hard for Jagex to develop their game.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I feel like it's very difficult for Jagex to have any cohesive direction and focus with their game when they literally can't plan more than like a month or 2 in advance of what the fuck they're trying to do, because we have no idea if the players are going to let us do it or not. Like, look at what a mess Raids was, like, and what the rewards ended up being, and how much it had to be rebalanced when it finally did make it into the game and stuff like that. And I think that comes down to, like, they just struggled to even get any rewards into the game for months, even though the content had passed.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we can have raids. What the fuck are you getting from raids? Was like the question for months.
An empty minigame reward shop.
Exactly. It's, yeah. I think the way the current polling system is being used, and the way it is and the way it functions, is in one way like essential to the game we know, old school RuneScape. Like, this polling system is important. I think it's the core of the game. Why do we not treat changes to this as a game integrity thing? If we think there are serious flaws with the polling system, such as seeing the results of the poll before the poll is over, which heavily influences the way people vote, why don't we change these things as a game integrity change? Why are these things voted on? Because literally everything in the, hey, should we fix the polls a little bit, poll failed. Literally all of it. We did not get a single change to the polling system out of that. And that was one of the biggest things I think people asked for, out of the last year. People asked for some simple common sense changes to the polling system.
Yeah.
Like hiding the percentages of the votes and stuff like that. I don't know. Would you guys like to see Jagex treat the polling system that way as a game integrity thing?
Yeah.
Yes, because that's exactly what it is. As you said, it's like, it's the core foundation of everything this game is and everything it has become and will become. Because we vote on literally every single aspect that comes into the game. They pulled a fucking pixel. A single little tiny fucking dot was like, hey, should we do this?
Yeah, that actually got... we paid someone to do that, by the way, to write that poll question.
Yeah. Someone had to physically type that the fuck out instead of saying, hey,
Probably
let's
Ronan.
just do it.
Probably Ronan.
Yeah, that's one of those things that's like, okay, either that matters and you change it, or it doesn't.
Yeah.
Like, Katsumoto, man, I can see your argument in a game of nostalgia. Like, I can see that. I started playing the game because of nostalgia. I fucking started the account, man, started killing chickens, dude. I was back in my fucking parents' basement, man, being sweaty. It was 2007 again, man. I was all about it. But no matter what way you look at it, the game we have right now is not 2007's game.
No.
There's
But
so
it is-
much
it is
shit
still
in this
nostalgic.
game that is brand new. It is. It has the same art style. It's got the
It's
same
nostalgic
graphics
in the
engine.
sense that, yeah, it's got the same combat system. It has the same art direction. It has the same feel. in a
Yeah,
lot of ways.
everything you had back in 2007, you have right now. But you can't expect the game to keep that way and keep it going. That's
Well,
not gonna
the
happen.
game did keep that way for a little over a year. That was the worst year of old school's history.
Yeah.
As a game, it did terribly with no updates. Yeah, I agree. I think RuneScape is better now than it was. Ever
Oh,
in
it most
2007.
certainly is.
Yes, I agree with that. I just feel like the polling system could be done better. And I feel like it's so core to the game that I don't think there's any excuse Jagex can't do it better.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating as players and as people who
The-
spend so much time with this game.
The problem I have with the polling system is the fact that it's also the thing I enjoy about it. It's the fact that it's giving everyone a say in what happens. So in a way, we're all kind of like game devs here.
Yeah, exactly.
Our
You're
opinions matter. But at the
But
same
not-
time,
community's
they
hands.
shouldn't on certain
Exactly.
things.
Yeah.
If they had pulled raids just as like, hey, do you guys want this? And it passed as it did, and they said, all right, well, you're gonna get it. And then they did everything else from there. They put in their own ideas for what the gear should have been, and we had to just suck it up and deal with it. And that's what we got. We got raid armors.
That would be
We
fine.
got whatever fucking else they put in.
That's
It'd
what they
been
did
fine.
with Zulrah.
And
Yeah.
they still have a big presence on social media. They still communicate, so they can still take suggestions on what to do with their ideas. Or
Yeah,
what,
that's
what kind of
exactly
stuff
how
to
it
bring in.
should be.
But it
in
should
my
still be
opinion.
up to them to do.
Yes.
Yeah, I
They should
feel
have
like
the final
fact,
say no matter what.
I feel like the fact that Jagex one of the biggest criticisms I saw when Jagex did stuff like that was like Zulrah came out and players said like, hey, well, like this could have been prevented if only we got the feedback on it. Well, the problem is when you let the players get this involved in your design process, these sort of issues start to occur, which is like everyone has wildly different ideas of how it could go, right? If basically Jagex said, because Jagex tried to do what you said initially with raids, right? Like they pulled raids initially and said like, hey, here's raids, and then they said, right, we want to offer these armors, and like they were fairly vague about it. They're like, hey, they'd be best in slot armors, and people were like, whoa, no, we want details. And then people got the details, and then it turned into this just like nobody could fucking agree, right? Nobody could agree what they wanted out of it.
And I think that's the biggest flaw with it. People shouldn't be able to complain this much and affect the game so much.
Yeah.
Like it at the end of the day, it is a game. They're the developers. We are the community playing it. We should not be the developers. It's really fucking awesome that we have a say in shit and we can, give input and, communicate with them and, throw ideas their way. But it should be up to them, no matter what comes into this game.
At the end of the day, they are games professionals and they understand how to make a good game, generally speaking.
And the 15-year-olds whining on Reddit are not game professionals.
No.
But sometimes but they still affect the game sometimes, which is not right.
One time we need to have a special segment of we just like find some of the worst suggestions and comments we can find on Reddit, and we need to just read them out on the
That'd
podcast.
be pretty good, actually.
Because there are some wonderful, wonderful things on Reddit and Twitter that people say in relation to content and suggestions. What do you guys think about that one that always comes up? There's one that always comes up that's like, hey, should we have a crystal quiver to make our crystal bow better? I see this one all the time, and I just really don't know what to think of it at this point.
I think it's a cool idea, personally.
I don't really care.
It's cool. I think it's cool too, but like I kind of think to myself, I'm like, how much does this fucking matter?
None.
Like,
when was the last time you used a crystal bow? Never.
The
rag people at black
only people I can think of is people who rag and people who hunt shamans, because like crystal bows got range.
Even before, I used it a lot just for like general training.
I think some purists also use it for Zulrah. Because
Mate. Okay. I saw a guy doing range-only Zulrah in black d'hide with a magic short bow.
That dude's a baller.
Fucking is, dude. I was so impressed.
I don't think it's a bad idea. I just wouldn't.
Mainly what I'm talking about is like clearly the idea doesn't have enough merit for like Jagex to be seriously considering it. But like, oh my fucking god, it comes up every goddamn week,
Mm-hmm.
Also, like Barrow's pets. Like Jagex has been pretty clear what they think about a Barrow's
That's such
pet,
a dumb
right?
idea.
But the fucking idea won't die, right?
Won't.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, these are the people we're trusting with our game,
Yeah, they have a say in it. They vote. So you guys both watched the documentary, right?
Yep.
I think there's a perfect connection to be made between this topic and the documentary, because there's a part most of the way through the documentary where Mod MMG, who is the CEO, is talking about what they had to do to save the company because their numbers kept dwindling after so many changes they made. And of course, at the time they thought they were the right changes, but they didn't turn out to be. So they introduced microtransactions, even though they never wanted to, because it was necessary to keep the company running. Because they couldn't afford it otherwise. And Mod MMG, in this interview portion of the RuneScape documentary, just says something like, this may not have seemed like a good idea to the players, but it was a necessary change for us to not go bankrupt. And if Jagex is not around, RuneScape's not around, it's simple as that. Deal with it. And that's the way that the JMods in old school need to deal with the poll system. They need to take control of it more than they do now and say, this is for the good of the game. And if you want the game to still be around and still be good and have, and just be quality for the future and not get fucked up because of the way that it's being run right now, this is what we have to do. And you'll still have a say in some of the stuff, but the rest of it is up to us to deal with it. That's what they should do. And I respected Mod MMG for saying that because he's just telling it like it is.
Yeah, I feel like the current polling system, like the direction of the game, isn't necessarily wrong, but I feel like the directions the directions of the game can go are totally stifled because of the polling system. We're not saying that RuneScape's failing. We're not trying to be like doom and gloom about old school, right? Like for the most part, we think old school is great and fun, and we really enjoy it.
Yeah.
There may be some aspects we don't like, but you know, nothing's perfect, right? But what I think kind of what we're getting at here is that certain avenues of RuneScape are stifled and just don't get the right attention, like PKing. None of us here PK, but like we all have enough of a brain to know that like there's something is direly wrong with the PKing community right now. Just because like you can just look at Twitch and tell like there are way less people PKing than I think you know in any recent years, and that's a big part of that comes down to like the majority of the players right now are just like, you know, it's Slayerscape. Let's be real. Like, what has got the most love and attention of anything else in the past forever?
Yeah,
Slayer.
Old school.
Slayer.
Everyone likes Slayer. Well, I wouldn't say everyone. The majority of players like Slayer.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're getting at is like the direction of the game. It's okay with what we're doing now. Like, I don't think any of the stuff we're getting is necessarily bad, right? Like the Inferno is awesome. We can't wait. Fossil Island, really cool that we're getting new skilling stuff, right? The question, you know, like, and it's great that Neve's Cave was changed, right? There's a lot of cool stuff that's coming to the game, but it's like, think of what could have been, you know, the things we could have got. PKing could have been a lot better. You know, we could have a much bigger PKing community. Skilling could have been better much before now. We could have got Fossil Island a year earlier or whatever if we didn't get Slayer update number ad nauseum.
Also, imagine the time the developers could save if we're not having to loop on a lot of polls to determine what rewards are going to come with certain content. How much time the JMods could have saved if they just handled the rewards on their own.
That's months of time.
That's so much time.
Yeah, it's months of time of them just waiting for rewards. And they've said this so many times. There's so much good content we'd love to offer you guys. But the question always is, what rewards? What can we give you? What would you guys be happy with? What are you guys okay with? It's clear that rewards are the thing they struggle with the most and are the hardest to do. And it's even harder when your players can't agree. I almost wish they'd use the polling. Like, they have to be careful with how they poll things and what questions they poll. Right, because the things that they offer, it's almost a given that certain things will just pass. Like almost anything Slayer related, they poll it, it's coming into the game probably. Because the players seem very in tune with what Slayer is. They understand it. They vote very well on whatever Slayer related thing we're polling. Right, but other portions of the game, like the players just can't figure it out. Like you ask a player, you know, like, okay, we're going to offer this armor. It's got like one more strength bonus better than Bandos and like slightly better defense, but like worse this other stuff. A player looks at the jumble of numbers, and I think most players look at all those numbers and they can't fucking tell how much. They know it's better than Bandos, but they couldn't tell you how much. Like, we had players when Raid's armor was pulled that would tell me and like other people in Twitch that like the Raid armor is too good. And then they voted yes for rigor. You know, like I can't even. It blows my goddamn mind. People would tell me that the range armor was too OP, and then they fucking voted for rigor. You know, what I'm saying is like on certain things, you can't trust the player base to be informed and make these decisions. Jagex has to be careful with what things they poll, with what questions they ask the players, because they're seriously, you know, they might seriously be affecting the future of the game.
Yeah.
Like, it's clear that like Blowpipe was never designed with rigor in mind, right? Do you think we're ever going to vote on nerfing the Blowpipe? No.
Probably not.
Realistically, no. You know, range is forever. Well, not forever, but range is always going to be in a very questionable place in RuneScape now because we have rigor, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, Jagex, the polling system is a blessing and a curse of RuneScape.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's what makes this game what it is, but at the same time, Jagex could handle the polling system better.
They could.
That, I guess, is what we're going for here.
That would have been a good TLDR, wouldn't it? Blessing and a curse. Move on. I
Yeah,
think in
conversation
future
makes me wanna
podcasts,
drink.
I think in the future podcasts, that's what we need to do. If this topic comes up
Yes.
again, we need to be like, it's a shame. It could be way better. Let's move on. I think.
Yeah, it's such a big topic.
Can we skip the rest of the poll questions and move on to the Inferno in the interest of time?
Oh yeah, we're pretty much done with the poll questions. That
Okay.
was like the last poll question. Except Blue Dragons, which nobody does anyways. So
Yeah, true.
let's talk about the Inferno. Something like we're actually excited about.
Yeah,
The polling system doesn't make us excited. It just makes us
makes us sad.
makes us think how much better it could have been. Rob, tell me that has water in it.
He's actually drinking.
He's just like, this is how the polling system makes me feel.
It is.
Mm.
Yeah.
Turn up. All right, Rob. How excited are you for the Inferno? Does it make you want to drink more or less?
More.
But for a different reason.
The Inferno cape?
No, because I know people are gonna bitch and moan about it.
Definitely, that's true. For what reason do you think people are going to moan about it?
Because they can.
Because they have fingers and an Ethernet cable. Or
Because
Wi-Fi.
this is an MMO.
Yeah.
That's right. All right, Rob, you spent enough time playing WoW. Did you ever go on the WoW forums?
Yeah, a lot.
More or less bitching than the RuneScape community?
Oh, far less. Far, far, far less.
Really?
Yeah.
There's only one axe I ever grind over on the WoW forums, and it's balance.
Yeah, that's literally
That's
it.
the only axe to grind, right?
Yep.
It's like, this isn't balanced.
Far more, dude. No, I have played World of Warcraft for 6 years. I played from BC up until, when did I last play? I actually played with Legion whenever that dropped. No, there's no. RuneScape has so much more people bitching and moaning because they feel validated in the fact that they get to complain because
I think that's why.
their opinion does in fact fucking matter here because our devs for our game that we play do actually listen to people, so they feel validated in arguing and just complaining because hey, maybe this will get better for me, and I want to drink more.
I always found on other MMOs forums, it was always the same handful of people grinding the same axe about balance, about bouncing this, bouncing that, right? And RuneScape, it's totally different discussion because, like you said, because of the polling system, people feel validated as basically game designers and totally validated about what direction of the game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I
like in
agree with
other
you, T6.
MMOs, yeah, like in other MMOs like Rift or WoW or whatever, it was always just like, hey, this cost is kind of unbalanced. Like, the devs are dumb. You should fix this. And that's like all it ever was. And like 90% of the time, the devs didn't give a fuck and they didn't read that stuff anyways. So
Yeah, no, they didn't care. They didn't have to care because they made the
they
game good. People still
Hey.
wanted to play it.
you're paying $15 still, aren't you? Like, last I checked, you already paid me. So. I don't know. I think people will complain because they can't get the cape. I think that's what the biggest complaint's gonna be. You made it too hard, Jagex.
Oh,
I think
100%, because that's exactly
think
how
Jagex
Rage
is
was day
gonna-
one.
Yeah, I think Jagex is gonna aim at making it harder rather than easier.
Yes.
I mean,
That's
yeah,
how it
because I
should be.
remember day one, people complained that they didn't complain that raids were too hard. They complained that the rewards were absolutely fucking awful, and the devs' response was, "Well, maybe you shouldn't fucking die so much. Like, get good."
Yeah.
Which is like the right response.
Well,
to that.
anybody who complains on the first day of the content coming out when they don't understand how to do it, they deserve to have their opinion disregarded. It's stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I remember doing raids day one, and me and some of the people I went with, we were kind of appalled at like how much time we spent for how shitty the rewards were. But like by day two, we had figured out like, oh, you just don't die at Ulm. Like if you don't die at Ulm, you actually get decent.
And also, the Inferno isn't going to be like we don't know what the rewards are. Like if you can complete it successfully, you're guaranteed a really cool cape that's going to be best in slot.
Yes.
So
The rewards are guaranteed, not variable like raids, which I think that was the biggest sticking point in raids. Like players didn't quite yet grasp that the entire point of raids was don't fucking die. You know, everyone was just zerging it day one.
Oh yeah, because we didn't know what the fuck we were doing.
Of course not. And I think, I mean, that's what we're gonna do with the Inferno too.
Yes, because we're not gonna know what the fuck we're doing.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be sad. I'm probably gonna be working on the day it comes out. Very sad.
I'll be working on getting that Inferno cape the day it comes out.
Same.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna work on getting it as soon as I can. And I think I will have it before the week is done. But I don't know. What are your guys' predictions on that?
On what?
Do you think someone will get a cape day one?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's unreasonable to think otherwise.
Yeah.
I know Mod Ronan's been memeing that like no one's gonna get it for weeks.
That doesn't seem possible.
It's like, Ronan, you better be fucking trolling.
Speaking of which, did you guys see recently that Mod Stone failed to get a fire cape on his personal account?
No.
That kind of bothers me. Like,
yeah,
one of the J mods can't even get a fire cape on his personal account with like normal-ish gear. Like that just, I don't know.
Well, I mean, he's there because he's good at his job. He's not there because he can play the game.
I know, but it still rubs me the wrong way. It's just like, it's like really.
You can't expect everyone to be great.
But when they interviewed, when he was on his first Q&A, they asked like, how long have you guys been playing the game? And both Rye and Stone were like, oh, like 12 years. And it's like, you can't fucking get a fire cape after 12 years. You work for Jagex, you still can't get a fire. Like, I don't know. It just seems stupid.
He's like a skiller.
I don't know.
Like Mod Ghost. Do you think Mod Ghost could get a fire cape?
Ghost?
Yeah,
I would. Maybe it's not reasonable to expect, but I would hope that everybody who works there could get one on their own. I would just hope that.
I think anyone can get a fire cape with enough tries.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Des got
it's
one.
just a learning thing.
Nope, Des didn't get one.
She got one on her own.
Oh, so she got her second one then.
Yeah.
When I came back to the game, and I attempted my first fire cape on my Iron Man with like shitty Iron Man gear and like, you know, half-ass inventory. Between my shitty internet connection at the time and disconnecting 3 out of my 5 attempts, it still only took me 5 attempts. Like I died 3 of the attempts because I DC'd in the middle of the waves. So it means I actually got to fight Jad like twice, and that's all it took, you know?
Yeah. I know.
But that's because I've done it before, you know? Like I knew how to do it.
Yeah. I know that not everybody has the same experience with the game because you can do whatever you want. So maybe you're just skill. And I know that it's definitely more about your qualifications for the job than it is about being able to play the game really well. But it still bothers me.
Yeah, I mean, you would hope everyone's at least played the game to the point where they've got a fire cape. But...
And I know that they have, like, I'd rather they spend the time working on the game for us to play than on their personal accounts. You know, I want them to get the work done and develop the game well. But
well, that being said, like, I'm really happy some of the J mods have started Iron Man personal accounts.
Mm-hmm.
Because having played Iron Man like the entirety of the time I've come back to old school, it does bother me just like how little the mods care about some Iron Man issues.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how long did it take for us to get Blast Furnace changed so that people couldn't overstock Blast Furnace and grief every Iron Man in the game? Like, it took us months to get that changed. You know, things like Fishing Trawler and Nightmare Zone, those things should have been fixed long time ago.
That's a stupid question. I'm sorry. It's a stupid question. How can you balance bosses and stuff when you can't even PvM yourself? They're not connected. Are you suggesting that because he doesn't stay calm at Jad, that he doesn't understand how the game works or the content he's designing works? Like, they're not related at all.
That's more of a QA thing anyways. Like, just because you design the content doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be testing or balancing it. Like, that's more of a QA thing.
No, but you can't say, oh, this person can't balance new bosses that he's designing because he's not particularly good at bossing himself. It doesn't make any sense to say that.
I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be good or bad, but like you'd expect somebody who is good at bossing to be. You would also there's an expected correlation that they would also be good. at designing bosses, right?
That's like he's saying. What he's saying is bosses that are already in the game. This person's not good at them, so he can't design new bosses with good balancing. That's entirely untrue.
Yeah, that's not necessarily related. I'm just saying, like, it's easy to see why somebody might make that conclusion.
I'm saying it might benefit, but you can't say that because this JMod is bad at Jad, he can't design good other bosses. Like, he wasn't involved in the development of Jad. He didn't playtest Jad before. They're not related in any way. It was just a stupid question.
Put him a fire cape. No, I mean, this is one thing that, like, this relates kind of back to, like, the polling and, like, community designing your game, right? It's just like a lot of players just aren't totally aware of what designing a game is and, like, what being part of a software company means and how people have different jobs and stuff like that. Like, people get on fucking Ronan and Archie shit all the time about, like, what they do or don't do, right? Where it's like, you have literally zero fucking idea what they do when they walk in the door in the morning, other than the things that you see on social media, you know? Like, I'm sure that, you know, Archie and Ronan spend a lot of time working on marketing and advertising and stuff like that. I'm sure they do a lot more than just what the players see. But of course, they're going to give them shit for it or whatever. Or, like, they'll give one of the designers shit over something that's QA related, or they'll give QA shit over something that was a design issue, you know? There's lots of different jobs at a software company, and I wish players were, as a whole, I wish players understood better. Because basically, when you think about it, RuneScape's community is the designers of old school, for better or worse. So you guys should be educated about, you know, how this game works and how the development of this game works. I think that's something I feel pretty strongly about. You just presses enter every tick.
Every 0.6 seconds. You're making the wall of text worse by making it one line for every thought that you have about a topic. The wall of text would be a lot more tolerable if it was condensed into one message.
That's how I type.
You're taking up
I'm like the worst kind
so
of
much
person.
more of the chat by doing it the way you're doing it.
It's also Sam also does that.
Yeah, he does. If you
Yeah,
put it
I do
into
that
one
too.
paragraph, it wouldn't be a wall of text, but the way you're doing it, it is a wall.
Anyway, how do we feel about people buying fire capes for gold?
It's inevitable.
Yeah, people are gonna do it. People are
And
gonna buy
it's-
Inferno Capes for gold.
And it's like, it's not against the rules technically, is it? So
Technically speaking, it is because it's account sharing.
It is.
account sharing is no longer against the rules.
No, I think
It is.
selling services in game is against the rules because, like, I asked the JMods one time, can I offer a questing service? Like, I quest for people
Mhm.
and they will pay me in-game gold. There will be no exchange of actual currency. And they said no. Because I enjoy doing quests a
Mhm.
lot.
Yeah.
And it would give me a chance to get really good at doing quests. And if there was ever any, like, quest speedrunning that ever came into this game, which they have said is something they want to offer at some point in time, they want to, like, offer like a tournament world type feature that would let you speedrun quests. You know, that would just be a way to get really good at the quests in the game. So I was like, hey, I could do this, and I could, like, pay for my membership and stuff like that. And people asked her, like, hey, can you give me B-Loves all the time? That is totally against the rules. You can't do that. says JMods.
Shane
It was,
asks about, what about people selling torsos? They're not playing on your account for you. You still have to participate in the
Yeah,
game.
you're leeching that.
You're
When
leeching.
did
They're
they
just-
change the rule book?
They are carrying your ass. through
Account
that
sharing
game.
has not been bannable for years, Rob.
It's still technically
No one's
against-
ever been banned for it. However, it is against the rules.
You can't
As
report
far
somebody
as
for account
I know
sharing anymore.
to this day. What?
On the report interface, account sharing is not on there anymore. They took it off.
Yeah, it's not a reportable
not-
thing, and they don't really ban for
They
it,
don't-
but technically it's against the rules for the reasoning of they don't want you to share accounts because inevitably it ends with people disputing the account, and the account
Yeah.
ends up creating a lot of problems for their support staff, and then the account ends up banned. Look at Fonz. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, Shane, no one's ever been banned for it. However, technically speaking, it has been against the rules.
Fair enough.
It's always been against the rules for the reason that it creates a headache for Jagex.
Yes.
Less that you can actually get banned for it, and more that inevitably Jagex is going to end up perming your account.
I have it right here. Account
Two level
sharing and
people are gonna
buying
fight
or
over it.
selling accounts is against the rules. Each account should only be used by one person. Never share your account with anyone else. Yeah, it's just account security. While we have this rule, for anyone that doesn't know, we have this rule as part of our procedure to preserve the integrity of the game and its players' hard-earned achievements. The highest scores are there to measure the achievement of an individual, not a group of players or third party. Also, if disputes occur or friendships break down, it can lead to at least one of the parties permanently losing access to the account or having it stripped of wealth and items. So, like, if you and a friend have the same account and, you know, one of you guys pisses off the other one and he takes everything from it, well, there's not a whole lot you can do or any of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
Also,
to this day, account sharing technically is against the rules.
people have been banned for account sharing. It just happens on deadman mode. Like,
Yes,
people
because
will
they were going
people
for
will
high
boost
scores.
ranks. Yeah,
Yes.
they'll boost ranks on deadman mode.
That is
But
the
they
only way
they only get
ban.
banned from deadman. They'll get banned from like the seasonal or the tournament or whatever.
Right.
I don't think anyone's actually been like banned off the main game for account sharing. Usually, what happens is the account just gets locked and they tell them both to just go fuck off.
Yeah.
You know, people keep submitting support tickets and it causes problems.
Yeah.
So, I mean, technically you got banned, but, you know, or like one person that made the account gets access to it forever and you get to go pound sand.
So,
Sorry, fonts.
Inferno.
Inferno.
That's exciting. The graphics look cool for the area.
Yes, they do. The graphics look really good.
Mhm.
I am a fan of the graphics. It's pretty much in line with what we'd expect. But, you know, it just looks, you know, like that new graphic style that, you know, like Mod Ghost kind of has, that like things just look smooth.
Yeah, they do.
You know, it looks, I don't know, it looks great. Also, like the kind of like the actual like Inferno area reminds me a lot of raids, like Tecton and stuff like that.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think the graphics in raids look excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it.
Me too.
I like that. I like how they show side by side the player created concept and the final product side by side on like the mini map, and I'm like, yeah, you can tell which one of those is actually made with a map editor, and which one was made in Photoshop. You know,
Yeah.
You got muted for account sharing? What the fuck?
neat.
Mute?
That's
for
the
that?
weirdest thing I have ever seen.
They probably just
Do you
didn't
remember?
have a more specific reason that actually fell under one of their categories, or
Yeah, sometimes they hand out like the infamous bug abuse minor.
Mhm.
Like, you didn't actually get temp banned for bug abuse. You got temp banned for being a dickwad. It's just that temp ban happens to fit with the time period they feel is correct for banning you, right? Like, it's an easy way to hand out a
bizarre.
3-day ban.
That is weird though.
Yeah.
I got
Can we get the
permanently
images
muted
you're
back
viewing
in
in
the
chat?
day.
Yeah, sure. We'll give this to you. If you guys want to check out the graphics, here you go.
I haven't
Yes,
actually seen them myself.
They look pretty sweet.
Yeah, go check it out. I mean, it looks pretty much how you'd expect the Star area to look.
I lied. I
Right.
have seen these.
Yeah, like the more old rec people look interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, what's going on in that first image? They look like
Those are just wall.
they're like stuck into the walls, or is that just like
Those
a
are
wall
just like
kit? Or
I
what's...
think those are just like wall decorations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up?
Ashton, we're podcasting.
She says hi.
Hi.
I mean, we'll hit fucking 3 hours in like
Yeah, we
7
should.
minutes.
Well, no, 'cause
Yeah,
we
we
didn't,
should
we didn't
be
start right on
wrapping
time.
up.
We're just about to hit 2.5 hours according to my recording. Although I think I may
Yeah,
have started
we're-
it when we were like
Yeah, we're
there was
about
some
to hit
banter
like
at the
2.5
beginning.
hours.
I think we should probably move on to the chat questions if you have any, Rob.
Yes.
I have one,
You have one.
but I don't think the guy's here anymore.
Was it from Moose?
Yeah.
Well, I've got Q&A stuff to cover. We've got a few questions from the Q&A that I wanted to talk about, like 4 of them.
All right.
Okay.
Here's one I thought was interesting. So these are we lifted these questions from the Q&A. We've got the developers, what they said on the Q&A, like, you know, shorthand, and then we're going to talk about what we think. Okay, so the first one is, can we have a method that isn't a bug, you know, like isn't abusing a bug, so we can keep untrimmed skill capes? And And Jagex said they wouldn't have a way to look at what your first 99 was. They don't keep track of which 99 you got first. So this doesn't benefit anyone that already has more than 199. And pulling the ability to wear and obtain an untrimmed skill cape would be an option. So basically, they'd like to look at the data on it and see if they can offer the ability to just give everyone like the ability to untrim a cape, essentially.
Okay.
Now, the only thing when I hear that, the thing that immediately raises in my mind is devalues my untrimmed 99 Slayer. Right.
Because then somebody could untrim it at will, and it will look like they got an untrimmed Slayer cape, but they might not have.
Yes. The way I feel about this is it's untrimmed Slayer cape is like one of the most prestigious capes in the game, and it's a very small percentage of the players that actually do that. But it's a
like
really
26
cool,
people with it.
yeah, it's like a really cool achievement, right? But at the same time, this is just a cosmetic option for like the vast majority of players. This just opens a cosmetic option.
Yeah, I mostly agree with the not necessary, don't do it mentality. And if they were to do it differently. Don't offer it on any cape. You can just untrim it. Offer it so like you can't look at what people's first 99 was. Make it an option only going forward for people who really care that much.
Yeah. I think they should do something in the case of like making it so you don't have to do this weird roundabout thing that you can accidentally fuck up if you get other 99s or whatever, right? But yeah, it's just unfortunate that they can't go back and look at what your first 99 was, right? Like they don't keep any data on like when you achieved what XP and what skills and whatever, right?
I think it's weird that we're asking Jagex to give us an official way to do something that was never meant to be done ever. It was never meant to be possible to keep
there
an
is
untrimmed
like
cape if you have another
there
99.
is like a prestige in
there is
a certain untrimmed 99s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. To me, like I'm not part of that community that cares about it, but there is a community that cares about this kind of thing, you know. Yeah, CML does keep track of all this stuff, but not everyone uses CML, and B, that's not a Jagex first party resource. They can't. I don't think Jagex is hitting up CML to be like, hey, can we just run our entire fucking database of players through, Crystal Math Labs? I don't think they're about to do that. I feel like going forward, I'd be okay with it.
Yeah, me too.
Of course, that would never happen because players are never going to vote for that because like, oh, I'm missing out, I feel like this is another one of those things that like this should happen, but it's not going to, right?
Yeah.
For whatever reason, we're never getting this, and we just have to accept that, and that the system that we have now is probably how it's always going to be. So, yeah, dropped your untrimmed capes in F2P worlds forever.
Okay.
All right. Lucky Implings. Possibly removing food or runes on the drop tables to make them, actually, like, not shit.
Yes, that'd be good.
And they said, yeah, we can look at removing specific drops on the table. To which I say, thank Christ, because we've been asking about this on this podcast for, like, forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Rob, have you had the joy of catching any lucky implings?
No.
Oh.
Look at Rob's face.
I have like 70 hunter.
I was gonna say I don't think he can catch them.
It's shit.
Yeah, they're not good.
Don't worry. You being at 700 is pretty much the same as being 93. Don't worry. It's like the same thing.
The joy of realizing that the highest tier impling just gave you nothing good every time.
Oh my god. I've only ever got fucking runes.
I got like
3 lucky implings.
The first time I got one, I got 2k GP.
Sick.
And then most recently, I got an MSP.
There was I've only ever seen one person get something decent out of it, and there was like a guy on Reddit who got Ranger boots from lucky impling.
5 people, Mod Lobby confirmed, have gotten Ranger boots out of it.
That's nuts. Like the entire time it's been out, 5 people.
Yep.
God. How long have those been in the game?
A while.
What's up? No, that's why they're still in there. Dishes, very interesting topic. That's what my life is these days. Right, yeah, so I mean, I don't know. Lucky and Blink should be better. We can all just agree on that. So he says July 6th. So almost a year. It's almost been in the game a year. 5 in a year.
That's bad.
That's some shit. Oh man. Dishes stream one day.
Well, on the topic of Lucky Implings, the question I do have pertains to Lucky Implings. Moose_EXE asked earlier, do you think they will vote the Lucky Implings buff or just do it, and how long? His answer is like, we could look into solutions.
Hang on, guys. You guys can speculate on this. I'll be right back. Just a second.
Okay.
Fucking leaving. Okay.
Let's see you, Chase. No, I think if Jagex is making a change to this, they just kind of like look for feedback and see what players want, and then they're just gonna rebalance it. Jagex is, I don't know, they've kind of taken the stance lately of, I don't know, maybe it's just because of like what they did with raids, but there was a good feeling when raids came out, right? That like when there was balance changes to be done, Jagex just rebalanced it. When something was clearly not working as intended or players were unhappy with the direction or like how something functioned, Jagex just fixed it, like in a way that the players clearly thought it should work. And I'm okay with Jagex balancing their game the way they think it should be balanced, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. Which would you rather see, Rob? Would you rather see it be pulled, or do you want Jagex to just bounce it?
I want him to fucking do it.
Yeah.
If they think it's a good idea, go for it.
I think that's our general sentiment, right? Is like we let the devs be devs on game balance.
Yes, that's how it should be. In my opinion, that's entirely how it should be. We want to give them ideas, go for it. They want to ask us if we want big content, like Zaya size content or like raids size content. Go for it, man. Have a poll for it. But when it comes down to the small individual details of all of this bigger content, that should be up to their discretion, 100%.
Yeah, I feel like letting Jagex balance like the like the little things. Like that's gonna result, I think, in a better game, because like the community can raise the issue of like, hey, we think this is a problem, and then Jagex says, okay, we'll look at it, and then Jagex gets to, the community still gets their input, right? But Jagex gets to have this final say on the direction of their game.
Yes.
And I think that's good. I think that's healthy. There's like this back and forth. I think having players vote on those little tiny minutiae of like, hey, we think we should remove, because like sometimes it's really clear when Jagex puts something in a poll, right? They're like, hey, we think this should be a thing. And then, but then like, okay, well, Jagex thinks they should do this. Why the fuck are they polling it then, right? And you see that sometimes when they try to poll balance changes. It's like, look, Jagex, either you think it's balanced or it's not. Like, don't ask your players, And I think I think just in general, like with raids, Lucky Implings, all sorts of different stuff in the game, either it's balanced or it's not. And like Jagex needs to be able to make that call, And I think it's totally fine for Jagex to take balance changes in their own hands. Because I view it the same way as game integrity. Either the game is balanced or it's not.
That's exactly what it is. It's bettering the game to make your game, better.
Yeah.
That is game integrity.
Sounds good.
At its core.
Imagine if World of Warcraft changed every balance patch, or like pulled it.
We'd still be in vanilla.
Yeah.
Nothing would ever happen. They would still be arguing about it to this day.
Yes. The only thing that would still be the same as mages would still be OP.
Yeah. That'd be literally it.
Yes. Mages always OP. All right. Let's talk about, can elves that recharge the crystal equipment be put on NPC contact?
Yes.
And they said, yeah.
Yeah.
They straw polled it, and it was in favor. People wanted a diary requirement. People said like hard diary, the Western hard diary. To me, yeah, that's what I say. I say like, why? Like the requirement should just be like you finish fucking roving elves.
Yeah, you
or
finish the
whatever
quest. You have that.
Yeah.
The NPC is a contact of yours. Why not put it on there after the quest?
Like I want to talk to this NPC, but this arbitrary, like book that I have to finish doesn't allow me to do it. I'm like, come on. Not everything we ever do in this game has to be locked behind a goddamn achievement diary.
Yeah.
Isn't just finishing the fucking quest painful enough? I don't understand people's like fetish of like putting everything behind a fucking achievement diary. People did that with the Karamja diary too. We're like, hey, we want this new content on Karamja. Instead of just giving us this content, we have to put it behind the fucking elite diary, and that's why we have literally everything. It's in the middle of Karamja's on the elite diary.
Hey. Did you see in the Q&A, I don't know if you have in your notes, they talked about removing the shortcut requirement for the diary? You know, the little stepping stone that hops you from salmon and trout to other salmon and trout locations that is on an elite diary? They talked
It's on
about
the elite
removing
diary.
that.
Oh my god.
You know, the thing that you're only doing if you're like level 30 fishing, that is on an elite diary requirement.
I did that on my
beneficial.
hardcore Ironman for approximately like a few hours, and that was it.
Did you know you need an elite diary for that, Nigel?
I could have, I could have taken the time
like level 30
to finish the elite diary to do it more efficiently. Yes,
Rob, come on, dude. Salmon and trout are serious business.
Oh,
that's some hardcore XP, dude. Come on.
I'm fishing them right now.
Back before barb fishing was a thing, yes, there was a time where that was a thing. People did salmon and trout to 99 fishing.
Yeah,
and they knew it was fast.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
if that were the case, I could see it.
It's the same fishing XP, just you get agility and strength as well, so it's just more efficient. It's like, well, and until you get sturgeons, once you get leaping sturgeons, then it's like retarded.
Yeah.
Once you get leaping sturgeons, it's a whole different ball game. But prior to leaping sturgeons, it's like the same fucking fishing XP. It's literally the same. Yeah, but like, so like our general response is like, yes, but why diary?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Somebody pointed out in the chat also that like, yeah, you need to do lunars as well to even use NPC contact.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Just lock behind multiple quests. It's fine.
All right. Can we pull a buy 50 option on shops? They said yes.
Thank you.
And I think Rob also mentioned that like the code is they've already written the code for this.
Yes. When Monash was developing the shops, the what is it? The sell 50 option. He thought it was sell and buy 50, so he already wrote the code for the buy 50. It was just never implemented.
Cool.
Yeah.
Got it.
So it's good to go. It just needs to pass the poll. Because, hey, I mean, my opinion matters, and I gotta get my say. I want to feel like a special snowflake today, and like I participated in this game. So get on it, Jagex. Show me the poll, man. I want to vote.
I'm gonna vote no. 'Cause fuck you.
I'll fucking vote no too, dude. You think I care?
it's like I'm gonna vote no because I don't like me either.
Are these things? Pathogen, are you aware? I don't know if you play the game or if you've been playing the game.
Everything needs to be pulled.
Are you aware that they pulled a single pixel
Green
color?
Pixel. That's all we gotta say.
If you happen to be in
Nigel,
game
please
right now,
please do more
and
ASMR about stupid shit that was pulled. Do it again.
you open up
God.
your skill
Green
interface and you
pixel.
look at the bottom. You have construction, right? If you look at the very
70% to
bottom
pass.
tip of the saw, there is one singular green pixel. You have to get super fucking close to look at it and even find the damn thing. And they asked if that should be changed to make it more in line with the rest of the saw. One pixel. I don't know if you fundamentally understand how large a pixel is.
It's pretty small.
It's at least 1 pixel, I think.
You're not wrong. It's smaller than a grain of rice, motherfucker.
It's about twice as
And
big
they
as
asked-
half a pixel.
Depends on the resolution of your monitor.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Whoa. Rob, did you hear that, or was it just me?
Hear what?
I know you heard it, Kristen. You're in the same room as me. It was like
I heard
a
nothing.
audio skip for a second, like when it catches and loops a little bit. It was for like 1 second.
Nope.
That was super weird.
Wasn't me.
Not funny, dear Lord. Bye. Later, bro.
Dear Lord,
Polling.
what's Dear Lord doing in that statement?
It's like bless your heart when somebody says that. I know you guys
Well,
don't live in Oklahoma, but
bless-
when somebody says bless your heart,
Bless Rob
It
the
just-
alien's heart. He fucking needs it, dude.
bless your heart.
I'd hug him if I
The
could.
ghost of failed polls
Yeah.
yet to come. Oh, my God.
That's good.
Oh,
Yeah, they
man.
pull fucking everything that doesn't need to be pulled. Though that was
Everything
the
gets
point of
pulled
that.
in this game for
Yeah.
whatever reason.
Yeah.
For better or for worse, everything is pulled.
They acknowledged that there is a flaw in the polling system. And do you know where they proposed changes to that polling system?
Within
the poll.
itself.
In the poll.
Yeah.
They acknowledged that it was broken, so they used the same broken system
To try and
to
fix
push
it.
forth fixes for the broken system.
You guys have heard my conspiracy theory about why nothing passed on the polling poll, right?
I think so.
Okay, here's my conspiracy theory. Hear me out, chat. The reason everything failed on the polling poll is because merchers have a bunch of accounts, right? And they can use the polling system to influence the price of certain items. For instance, does anyone remember when they polled changes to the BGS? To the BGS from 65% spec to 50% spec, right? Which would give you 2 specs of the BGS, which is a huge change. The BGS went from 3 mil to like
11.
over. Yeah, it was like almost 12 mil, like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody had been suggesting that for weeks and weeks, I am sure, and they probably made a fuckload of money off of that poll question. Merchers, I mean, it doesn't even have to make it on a poll. It just has to make it on the fucking Q&A, right?
Yeah.
Merchers love the current polling system. Just think how many times people ask shit about Kraken tentacles and the Seer
Yeah.
Cult and
Yeah, the
like the
Seer
Seer's
Cult.
Ring and all sorts of other items that are in the game are moderately to negligibly useful, and could do with change or rebouncing, maybe, possibly. I think merchers love the current polling system because they can make a fuckload of money off of it with nothing but an account that has membership and a large amount of gold on it, which also ties into RWT quite a bit. I think there is a large section of the player base that's kind of like in the background saying, no, we love the current polling system because we can manipulate it very easily to make a lot of money, both in-game and out of game.
Yeah, they're
if
like,
you know
no,
what I mean.
don't change it to 66%. I'm almost able to afford a Lambo.
Yeah.
Just put the last down payment on my house, dude. Leave me alone.
I almost have 2 Audis.
Mod Reach?
The Mad Dan.
Mod Audi.
Mod Elysian Blue.
You,
Okay, so somebody has to make like a mod reach, like, you know, what is it? The oh god, what is the guy's name? Bob Ross. Bob Ross. Just a little bit of Elysian Blue. Some Ranger boots green.
What did Modric even do? Never gotten the info. Basically, he bugged Corp.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, he bugged Corp, and that allowed certain individuals that knew about said bug to, I believe it was like if you Gmaul spec'd it.
It was an
Corp-
invincibility bug.
Yeah, it was basically you could kill Corp without fear of taking any damage.
Yeah, I think it would.
Yeah,
it was some kind of
so-
bug that would change your character's attackable state to unattackable, and then Corp would just do nothing, and you could kill it and farm
Yeah.
for sigils.
It was a very
And-
specific bug, so you kind of had to know about it.
Yeah, and people were doing this for several different accounts. Like all at once, they were basically botting it, and they were making billions per day. Corp.
Yep.
Yep.
Do we have any more of the Q&A questions, Nigel?
Yes.
Yeah, last one. Dragon Axe ornament kit. 1 out of 10,000 chance from a bird's nest or something like that. They didn't really comment on the bird's nest thing, but they do think a Dragon Axe ornament kit is a good idea.
Yeah, I saw the
Yeah,
picture. It
so-
looked pretty cool.
Yeah. I generally agree with the sentiment of like, sure,
Yeah. why
everything
not?
else has got an ornament kit. Why not?
Did you see the
Do you guys
post
want to
though?
see it from a bird's nest, or do you guys want to see it from like a clue reward or something like that?
I mean, the rest of the ornament kits come from clues, so probably.
Yeah, I want to see it
Yeah.
on Clue.
Oh well, actually no. The dragon. Where does the dragon pickaxe ornament kit come from?
Bounty hunter, I believe,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
because it's a wildy item.
Yeah, for me, it would make more sense for the dragon pickaxe ornament kit to come from the what is it? Motherlode mine.
Increase the drop rate of the mole pet to make Chase's KC not seem so bad. Are you devaluing my bad
low
luck?
KC.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
devalues my low KC mole pet.
Yeah,
Actually, no, that increases the value of my low KC mole pet. Never
it
mind.
does. Yeah.
Yeah, do that. I like this change. Yeah, I don't necessarily think like 1 in 10,000
No.
from like a nest is like anywhere near like that. Doesn't
No.
make sense to me. Yeah,
Especially
somebody brings
since-
up a good point. Deep pick is dropped from Wild Bosses and KVD, so getting the ornament kit from Bounty Hunter makes sense. Okay, I see that. I buy it. I buy it.
Did I not just say that when I said wildy or bounty hunter?
I wasn't listening.
No. Yeah, I was just saying like why Bounty Hunter instead of like somewhere else. So is what I was saying. I don't know if you commented on the fact that it was from Wild Bosses.
I did after I said bounty hunter.
Okay,
It's
well I just didn't hear it
wilderness
because I'm a
item.
terrible person. I'm sorry, Rob. I love you.
No one listens to me. No
You're
one
right.
pays attention
Shush.
to me. I'll fucking lead the call, dude. Think I won't?
Mute Rob.
I'll go play some fucking Gwent, dude.
What do you mean? Go play Gwent.
You've been playing Gwent.
Yeah.
I stopped like half an hour ago because I wanted to
Your
get
Gwent
more
addiction's
involved.
real, Rob. We need to talk about how much you're playing Gwent.
Such a fun game.
I'm sure it is, man. I actually can't wait to try it out. Right. So yeah, like that's it for all our topics and stuff. If you have questions in the chat, do at Vorpal Tongues in the chat. He will take your questions and he will ask them to us.
It's already 9:15.
We'll
I think we
answer
should
them.
actually just do our sign off. To be honest.
No. Well, has anyone asked anything other than Moose EXE?
Not so far.
Dan just asked something. Most valuable Slayer task to extend. I said gargoyles.
Oh.
Necreals
Yeah.
as well.
I'm gonna have to agree. Necreals only really matters, I guess, if you're like a main, or sorry, not a main Iron Man. But I don't know if you want to extend it if you're a main, because that's just a barrage task.
Yeah, but isn't it like really good XP?
Are we talking about valuable in terms of experience or valuable in terms of like money?
I was assuming money, which is why I said Gargs.
Yeah, because Gargoyles is really, really good.
It is.
Yeah.
Necreals is also really good if you're an Iron Man and you want seeds. You get a lot of Snapdragons from them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
what do you
as far
think
as money,
about
yeah, it's
a
Gargoyles.
commend system opposed to reporting?
Oh, you mean like the opposite of reporting? Like we can commend players, kind of like league system where you can like say like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, this player's actually a really good dude. So you can commend players. I think that might be a good way to find candidates for PMod, but of course players would
Yeah.
abuse it.
Yeah,
I
they
wouldn't
would.
mind that.
Yeah, it sounds like a good
But
idea.
at the same time, I feel like it. Well, how would it work? Would it be like a one-off thing, or would you be able to give like 1 to 5 stars? Because like, if it was just like a one-off thing, like reporting is like you don't have what level of dick was this guy when you're reporting him. You just say offensive language. If it
Well,
works,
there's also a problem. If there's also the problem of like in League, that system works really well because you're with X amount of players for X period of time, and these are the only parties involved, essentially, right? In
Yeah.
RuneScape, I can be standing at the GE, decide this dude's like a dick, and just report him, and like maybe he didn't deserve it or whatever, but like somebody's got to read that report, you know? Same with the commend system, like I can just find some random dude in the GE and commend him for no fucking reason, right?
Yeah.
There's no, there's no reason necessarily that like, you could just get everyone in your clan chat to just commend each other, just big circle jerk all around for no reason. Everyone's just commending each other every 10 minutes or whatever. It sounds like a good idea. In practicality, I don't think it matters. I don't think it would work very well.
Yeah. We ready for the sign-off?
Yeah.
It
Although,
is
Jordan's got a
fucking
good
awful.
question. How many weebs play RS?
I didn't think that was a good question.
I think it's a good question.
How do I
know at least
quantify
one.
that?
Rob plays RS. There's at least one.
Dude, I haven't been a weeb in fucking so long.
How many headbands do you own?
Currently, none.
You did spam that weeb copy pasta pretty hard today.
Yeah, but it's a copy pasta. If I spam try hard, does that make me racist? Yes, actually.
He was like, wait a minute.
Anyway, sign off. Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
what's our sign off?
All right. For anyone that doesn't know, at the end of every podcast, we play a quick game of Fuck, Marry, Kill. Last week was your mom trapped in your girlfriend's body, your girlfriend trapped in your mom's body, and your dad.
Yeah, last week was horrible. Thanks,
Yeah,
Rob.
that was.
You guys are
I didn't have to
dicks,
answer
'cause I'm
that.
the only one that answered
How
that.
come Rob's still in charge of the Fuck, Marry, Kill? That's
You're
what I
so
want to know.
good.
They're horrible.
Demoted. That's why he's so quiet throughout the podcast, because he knows his revenge.
I spent the first 20 minutes of the podcast saying absolutely nothing because I was just Googling awful fucking fucking.
And the last 2.5 hours playing Gwent.
That too.
Good
I spent a
podcast.
lot of time playing Gwent. All right. So, fuck, marry, kill.
Oh boy.
A porcupine,
Okay.
velociraptor,
You've already lost me. This is
and your grandmother.
Oh fuck. I guess I'm killing Granny. Period.
So
Being
you're gonna
married
either
to a
fuck a velociraptor or a porcupine.
I'm marrying a velociraptor. That sounds rad as shit. That sounds fucking cool. I'm marrying a velociraptor, honey.
But you have
That's
to
cool.
fuck a porcupine.
It also means I have to fuck a porcupine, but that's okay.
oh yeah, Ashton in the background.
I guess you're moving into the office.
Marry the porcupine? Hell no, dude. Velociraptors are cool. Come on, man. Didn't you watch Jurassic Park? There's like 3 of them, I'm pretty sure. I mean, yeah.
Okay, this is. I don't know how you didn't do this one, Nigel. We discussed this last week. Because you marry someone doesn't mean you need to have a physical relationship. So marry your grandmother. She's a lovely lady.
There's too much stigma
She'll cook
attached
meals
to
for
that.
you. Yeah.
Granny's dying. About period.
There's too much stigma attached to marrying your grandmother where you're talking about fucking a porcupine. How's there no
Look,
stigma?
man.
How's there no stigma on fucking a porcupine?
I also get to marry a velociraptor this way.
You can't apply logic to one of the options and then not the rest of them, Nigel. Velociraptors are
actually-
extinct. You can't actually marry a velociraptor.
Look, I don't have to physically actually fuck the porcupine. I only have to hypothetically bang a porcupine, so
It's all hypothetical. You can't
So what's your answer, Chase?
marry grandmother. Is as far as I got.
Okay.
Because you don't have to have a physical relationship.
Tripwire.
And I love my grandmother, and she would cook wonderful food.
I
You
thought
love your
about it a
grandmother
great deal.
a lot,
Yeah.
apparently.
Shush. You guys suck. One day we'll get a new sign off.
No, this is it forever. Alright. I would marry my grandmother. Because she's already
Can't do
up
that.
there
There's
in
a
years.
stigma. You can't do that. It's,
No, I'm not done. It's gonna get really dark here in a minute. She's already old as shit. It's like she's gonna die soon anyway, which means I can remarry and I get half her assets. Or no, she's dead, so all her assets.
Rob's gonna kill his
We're married.
grandmother.
I'm not, but like
Rob's a
it's
gold digger. What
it's
the hell?
bound to happen. So that means I can remarry. All right. I would fuck a velociraptor, because who wouldn't, right? Like, I get to say I boned a fucking raptor, man. I'm totally down for that. Totally down for that. And I'd kill the porcupine because my dick is not going anywhere near that thing.
Yeah, I agree with that part.
Look, who said it was an aggressive porcupine?
What does that matter?
Have you ever seen a Their entire body is just covered in fucking like darts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
Have you ever seen a dog's
Ugh.
face after running with a porcupine? You want that to be your dick? I don't think so.
I mean, look, I'm not saying I thought this out well. This
I'm
is
not
just my
saying Rob
initial
thought
rank.
this out well before
I'm
proposing
not.
it.
I'm not passing up the opportunity to marry Velociraptor. Okay, that's just not. That's not how I roll.
But see, if you marry your grandma, you can like keep the velociraptor as a side chick when you bone her. And then like once Granny's dead, you can marry Velociraptor. And either way, you don't get quills in your dick.
Oh man. But they're only hypothetical quills.
That still makes me ache.
Hypothetical
though, dude. I have to
quills will
pee.
still
I'll be right
hurt your
back, I'm
hypothetical
sorry.
dick.
No, my dick is very real. My dick is not hypothetical. I guess in this instance it's hypothetical.
It's still going to be hypothetically very painful.
Yes, Finn. We're just doing the shit that Rob makes us do.
No,
for
but
a
real talk. Why is Rob still in charge of the sign off?
I don't know. Because this is funny, that's why.
It is.
Oh. I think this is the most I laugh all week.
Well, yeah, you have a real
Okay,
job
that's
now.
maybe not necessarily true, but
I just love
I do
Ashton
sometimes
in the
read
background.
Reddit, so
That usually makes you cry.
sometimes I read the Reddit suggestions thread. I have a good laugh.
Oh my
Where is
god.
Rob?
He went
He
pee.
disappeared.
He had to go pee.
Oh, he went to go find the porcupine. Okay. Gotcha. Oh boy. Hmm. Also, congratulations on your KQ pet. If
Thanks.
anyone doesn't know,
Did you just
Chase got a KQ pet.
Did you hear
today.
that sound? Rob found the porcupine.
Rob, did you find the porcupine okay?
We heard you.
Dude,
we
I am
heard
so
you.
sorry. I've been holding that in for like 2 hours. I've been waiting
You
for
had a
us to fuck
porcupine
it
in
in.
your pants for 2 hours?
Yeah, dude. I named him Little Nigel.
Oh,
No. I'm pretty
Oh,
sure. Is it?
jeez.
Yeah, I zipped. We're good. No dick on stream.
Okay, speaking of that, somebody in game at Apatol said he's got that 2-inch Thunder Lamau. And then Effie Salt said, for real.
I ran into a guy at the agility pyramid whose name was just Butthole.
Really?
Yep. With one T, but yeah, that was it. Butthole.
Butthole.
No space.
That's a Dark Souls 2 thing. Try tongue, butthole. It's like the word butt and the word hole.
Yeah, it's like
Right.
the new South Park.
Because you can
game.
leave like you can leave like little cryptic messages to other players in Dark Souls. Yeah. And so they're like these giants in the game. They have like a completely round face, but like where like their eyes and stuff is just like a hole, like a void where their face is basically. It looks like an anus, like 100%. So people would put try tongue, but hole.
My favorite was like whenever you first met Guinevere, and like people would
Yeah.
just drop signs that said treasure ahead. For anyone that doesn't know, Guinevere,
Amazing chest ahead.
yeah, she's got massive titties, dude, and she's a god, or I guess,
Goddess.
yeah, she's
Goddess.
a god.
Goddess. Yeah.
And she,
Triggered.
in comparison to the character, is fucking super huge, like tall.
Yeah, she's massive.
And her titties, dude, like you could easily sleep in them, and they're just all out there in your face, man. Best game.
Yeah, and so
Best
people
game, 10
always
out of
leave
10.
people always leave the message on the ground. Amazing chest ahead.
Yeah, dude.
That's pretty great.
Oh,
That's like when the streamers are being kind of funny and then the Twitch chat busts out some like really hilarious comments about what you're talking about.
yes. All right, so we're gonna wrap up today.
Yep.
Wait, I didn't hear
Um,
the rest of Chase's answer. What
I'm
was your
done.
answer?
I think it was this. I think I agreed with Rob. Yeah, I think my answer was the exact
both
same as
married
you.
the girl. No.
And don't fuck the porcupine. So I think you and I are in complete agreement.
No matter
okay,
what,
cool.
you guys aren't boning the porcupine,
Right.
basically.
All right.
Well, I successfully maneuvered not marrying my grandma, so I think we're
Yeah,
good.
that's the thing to be proud of, Mr. Porcupine fucker. All right, sure. Well done.
Okay, we're gonna host somebody. I think I'm gonna host Josh Marksman. Why not?
All right.
We're gonna give him some viewers.
And if you're watching on my YouTube channel,
All right,
thank you for
guys.
watching. See you in the next
yeah,
one.
it's been great. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye.
Have a good day, everyone. Bye.